Country Club. Welcome to the 2003 U.S. Open. We are here today to kick off our U.S. Open Championship team, which is everyone in this room. For 7 days in June, we're going to be asking you, and the public's going to be asking you to do this, to do that. There's going to be many, many tasks that need to be performed. You're going to have a certain amount of stress, and I hope an awful lot of fun performing those tasks. To get you started, we invited Mr. Bryan here today. Mr. Dodge is for you. This has nothing to do with the Open. This is for you to absorb part of what he has to tell us about staying focused, staying energized, and enjoying the process of going through this kind of a enduring week. There's going to be challenges ahead of us. I don't think anything we can't handle. The U.S. Open is about the best. It's about the best players. It's about the best golf course. It's about the best possible conditions on that golf course. And it's about you, the best team that we could put together to execute the U.S. Open. So Bryan Dodge, I've heard him speak. He's wonderful. Jeff Seapan, where's Jeff? Jeff is in the audience. Jeff may be his biggest fan. Jeff and I heard him in Miami a couple of months ago and said, we got to bring him up here before the U.S. Open so the whole team can hear it. He's all yours for the next 2.5 hours. Enjoy yourselves. I know you will. And sit back in your seats because he's going to try and pull you off your seats. That I guarantee you. Ladies and gentlemen, Bryan Dodge. Go.
Yay! You there. First of all, I'd like to say this. I think all of us have one thing in common, and that is our time is the greatest asset we have. Say true. Say true. So be respectful of your time. There's a whole bunch we got to do because we're starting a little bit late. So buckle up. Let's go for a ride. Number one is to introduce myself. Why in the world would you be willing to even listen? Number two is to share some ideas and techniques in 4 different categories. Number one is personal development. Nothing changes until you change. Once you change, everything changes. Say true. True. Number two is how to have your best year ever. Who in this room wants this year and next year to be the best years you've ever had in your life? Come on. Yeah, look at some of you. Not me, man. I've had too many good years. I don't want any more. And the third category we're going to talk about is leadership. And then we're going to jump into time management. I did a time management class. It took 2.5 days. I told the instructor she needs to go through a time management class. We're going to do it in about 11 minutes. And then we're going to talk about memory. Who in this room would really like to improve your memory? How long? Have you ever, Kathy, have you ever had this happen before where you meet somebody, right? And no more than your hand leaves their hand? What have you already forgotten? Their name. Then we pull out that one technique we've all invented. How do you spell that last name? They say, what? Smith? You're busted? I jokingly say I have a small territory. I cover the United States, Canada, and now Australia. I'm on and off plane about every 3rd day. Anybody in this room ever travel a lot before? Is it fair to say it's old? Big time. People ask me all the time, why in the world I continue to do it? 2 reasons. Number one is I get to work with and learn from for the very best in my profession called sales. And I want to clarify something right now. I am not a speaker, and I'm not a motivator. I did a program in Vegas, 5,000 people, all-day program. I like all days, and I don't talk so fast. The gentleman introduced me, says, the motivational speaker's here. I turned on the mic, and I said, yes, I live in a van down by the river. I don't even believe motivation. You know why? Everybody say why? Why? Because you take an idiot, you motivate him, what do you got? A motivated idiot. Nothing personal, but that's a scary thought. Say true. And you know what's interesting? I am not a speaker and I'm not a motivator. I'm a salesperson and I'm very proud of it. Because where else in the world can you get up in the morning and have no idea what's going to happen to you? Say true. By a show of hands, who in this room is in sales? By a show of hands, who in this room talks to somebody who does breathe every so often? By a show of hands, who in this room has kids? We're big time in sales, are we not? How many kids you have? 3. No, big time. I have a 19, 16, and a 13-year-old. I sell my kids every day. On the books they read, the class they take, and the people that hang around, because I've learned something. If you ain't selling them, somebody else is. Say true. And how many of you in this room is not going to raise your hand? It doesn't make a difference what I ask. I got to throw that one in there. And you know what's interesting? So what I'm going to ask you, the second reason I do what I do is I get to work with some great coaches. Now, folks, I believe where you are today and where you'll be tomorrow is nothing more than the books you read and the people you meet. Say true. I work with people like Tom Hopkins, Brian Tracy, Og Mandino, Lou Holtz, Les Brown, Lee Iacocca, Norman Norman, Roger Staubach, I go on and on. When you work with these people, you start understanding one thing. Standard education gets you a job. Self-education makes you fortunes. You know what the biggest problem we have? We say yes to our business, 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 yes to our family, yes to our kids. At the end of the day, we're tapped, aren't we? We have no time. We have no energy. Who do we end up saying no to? Ourselves. Good answer. Wrong choice. You know what's interesting? I just finished doing a program down in Atlanta. The lady jumps right up in the middle of the program. She says, I say no to my husband, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I said, ma'am, I prefer not to go down that road. All I know is one thing. Nothing changes until you change. Once you change, everything changes. Say true. So what I'm going to ask you to do for the few minutes I have left, and if you think I'm talking fast now, hold on. Let's see how well you can stay here both mentally and physically. And I want to let you know something. I'm an expert at knowing if you're no longer here. You know how come? Because I have 3 children. Look at you. He goes, well, how come he's pointing at me? You know what I'm talking about? Those of us that have kids, they're looking at you. They're smiling. Lights are on. Nobody's home. All right, everybody grab your workbook. Grab a pen. If you don't have a workbook and a pen, borrow one from a friend. If you don't have a friend, you need to start there. Everybody ready? Say ready. Oh, everybody ready? Say ready. All right, who in this room wants to have this as a major goal in your life, and that's to have consistent upward growth in your life? Come on, show your hands. It's the name of the game, is it not? Anybody can have a great day and a bad day. So open up to the first page. It's called the EAT philosophy. Some of you going, hey, food, I like this guy. No, not food. It's a philosophy. And I want to share something. Anybody can have a great day and a bad day. Anybody can have a great week and a bad day. Anybody can be motivated in the morning and depressed in the afternoon. True? It's the consistency that sets you apart. So start your notes here. Let's go. We got to cover a lot. E-A-T. Somebody going, food. I like this guy. No, not food. It's a philosophy. If you're doing real well with each one of these categories, you're creating what we call upward consistent growth. If you're missing one of these categories, I guarantee it's costing you a roller coaster ride. Take a look and see how well you're doing. Fair? E in the word eat stands for being an eager learner. So underneath the letter E, write the word eager learner. You know what's amazing? I can sit down with you for 10 or 15, 20 minutes and tell you how open your mind is. You know how come? One word. If it's in your vocabulary, you're very open-minded. If it's not, you're not. And I hate to break the news to you, but statistically proven, 80% of the people in this room have lost a word. Let's see if you can figure out which one I'm talking about. I've been in this business now for 16 and a half years. Last year I did 411 appearances. Calculate that one out. What's the ages of the 3 children? Ooh, I like that one. We're getting sequence here. What's yours? Wow, they grow up fast, do they not? And you know what's interesting? You take a child between ages 3 and 5. Never forget something. We learn everything we need to know about personal development between ages 3 and 5. That's proven. You take one word out of that child's vocabulary, which is called no, which can be an exciting thought. Say true. If you took this one out, what's one other word they use a ton other than no at this age? Come on. Ah! You can have the tonality down. Did you hear? Why? You know what I'm talking about. Mom, why you got a refrigerator? Keep food cold. Why want to keep food cold? So go bad. Why don't you go bad? So you sick. Why don't you sick? You know, they go on and on and on. You almost want to smack them. Underneath the word eager, write the word why and circle it. For the next 24 to 48 hours, see how often you use it. You know what you're going to find? You've lost it. You know why? Everybody say why? Oh, you're a quick class, you are. Number one reason is you get to a certain age you think you should know. Don't get there. We're an information age, are we not? And the second reason is we get around our peers and we don't want them to know that what? That we don't know. Now let's be truthful. If you don't know, she doesn't either. So what do we got? We got 2 people talking about something that neither one knows anything about. And only in America can one still advance. Say true. Some of you might like this guy, some of you might hate this guy. I think the world of him. I've known him for almost 14 and a half years now. His name's Lou Holtz. Last time I picked him up in Boston, literally from the airport to stage, a 15-minute ride, he had used that Y word over 21 times in the car. Then I could ride with somebody all day long and never use it once. What's the greatest computer in the world? Your brain. The Y is the button that opens it. Do you know why the U.S. Open is coming here? See, no, invite you to give you an opportunity to experience something in life that some people will go their whole life and never experience. The difference is, are you going to go through it or are you going to experience it? There's two different categories, and everybody in this room has a choice. And you know what? A, and the word eat stands for argue. Ah! So you're going, hey, I got 1 out of 2, that's not bad. True or false? Do we have negativity in our life? Come on. True. My question to you is this. As you become more successful in life, does negativity / challenges increase or does it decrease? Come on. It increases every time, doesn't it? So be careful what you ask for. That's as silly as what? Two people meeting each other. They fall in love. They decide to get married. Perfect communication skills. Perfect financial skills. Perfectly hypothetical here. Say true. I've been married 26 years, no such thing. They look at each other and they say what? Let's keep things just the way they are, but let's have children. Hello? McFly, that ain't gonna happen. But you know what? Whatever my opinion, I think kids are the greatest gift in life. But you know what? There's a price to pay for them little rascals. Say true. Well, guess what? There's a price to pay for happiness too. There's a price to pay for sadness. There's a price to pay for success, and there's a price to pay for failure. You know what? Why am I here today? To remind you to pick the right price, because it is your choice, is it not? And you know what's interesting? I'm going to say something from the deepest part of my heart. You ready? Say yes. Yes. Say yes. If you're not happy for any reason right now, you you change it before you leave this room. You know why? Everybody say why? Because life's too short not to be happy. Say true. I've never met anybody my whole life in the last few days of their life that ever said, oh God, I wish I'd have been more grumpy. So stop it. And by the way, statistically proven, don't tell anybody you're not happy. You know why? Everybody say why? Because 80% of the people you tell that you're not happy are actually happy to hear you're not happy. What are you doing making your day for? And the other 20% really don't what? Care. Whose responsibility is to make you happy? You. The greatest thing you have to understand. You ready? Say yes. Yes. U.S. Open is going to come. What's going to make the difference is the people that are running it. And you can run it because it's a task, or you can run it because you have passion, and that is because you're excited. And if you're excited, you're going to attract things in your life that you'll never get a chance in your life to ever attract ever again. And what I'm asking you to do is you better be very guarded about making the right choices. I spent a day and a half with Lee Iacocca. I learned 2 great prices. Price number 1 is don't ever go to lunch with him without a book to read. True. If you're reading, you're growing. If you're not, you're not. True? And if you've gotten away from reading, who cares? Just get back. See, today is not about yesterday. Today is about tomorrow. And I don't believe in guilt. I'll prove it to you right now. Who in this room has a bad habit? Raise your hands. Who's got a bad habit? Then enjoy that sucker. Are you with me? There's nothing worse than this. I shouldn't smoke, I shouldn't smoke, I shouldn't smoke, I shouldn't smoke. I mean, if you're going to smoke, suck it up. Just don't blow it in my face. Because you know what the truth is, the more you enjoy it, the less you'll let them do it anyway. Stay true. And you know what's interesting? You throw guilt into the formula, it's a 7-to-1 ratio. And the second thing I learned throughout the day and a half is he constantly got interrupted. Do you guys ever get interrupted throughout the day? Duh. He has one question asked every interruption. Is this a problem? If you say yes, you get his time immediately. If you say no, he says you're not to interrupt my day, you're playing into it. I look at him, I said, dude, why is it you only interrupted today for negativity? He changed my life. He says, you write these 3 words down, you live by these 3 words, it'll change your life. I did, it has. I love to give it to you, keep up. Underneath argue, write this down. On its time. And circle it, on its time. Ah! This is such good stuff. I looked at him and I said, what does on its time mean? He said, Bryan, think about it. If you haven't had something negative enter your life today, it's coming this afternoon, don't be so surprised. It's called life, folks. Do you know what? The arrival is never the problem in life. You know what the problem is? Everybody say what? The choice you make when it shows up. I said, well, what's on its timing? He said, very simple. Whenever something negative enters your life, learn a success habit. Stop whatever you're doing, don't care what you're doing, and you resolve that problem on its time. If you do it on its time, you now control it. There's only one other choice, isn't there? You ignore it, push it aside, hope it goes away. Does it go away? No, it only gets what? Worse. You know what's worse and worse? Don't say worse, or you're going to say worse and worse. You have it across your forehead. Worse hair. There's no such word. You've allowed it on your time. Now who's in control? You. You know what the number one killer of opportunity, success, hopes, dreams is what? Same day rule. You have to give me the answer the same day ask. You know what it is? Is you've allowed too much negativity onto your life, so you can't focus on the things that matter. You're distracted by the things that don't. And remember something. Success comes from internal. It's not motivation. Success comes from seeing the things other people cannot see because they're too busy looking in the wrong places. True? Today is designed for one reason. To remind everybody in this room, you're the greatest asset this whole club has. You're the greatest asset that the U.S. Open has seen. The TV will show one thing. Life is going to show another. I'm hoping more than anything else that if my daughter or my son was sitting in this room, that the person that was delivering the message was doing it very well. My daughter plays soccer for SMU now. She's 5'2", standing on her toes. And you know what's interesting? All the time growing up, I'm too small. I don't have enough strength. I don't have enough muscles. 2 knee surgeries. My knees won't hold it. And I said to her, as she was growing up, I said, Nicole, you can focus on the things you don't have, or you can focus on the things you do have. And once you find what you have, you don't need anymore. You know that. Everybody in this room has everything you need to do everything you need in life. The fortunate part is, most time, people are trying to keep you from focusing. And you know what's interesting? T and the word E stands for being thankful. No, and I'm not talking about how blue the sky is, how green the grass is. Give me a break. I'm talking about the most important thing in the whole wide world. Has anybody in this room ever heard somebody say this before? It's greener on the other side of the fence. Yeah. We all have. Is it? No. A friend of mine once told me, he said, no, they just learned how to hide their manure better. Folks, hate to break the news to you, we all got manure. There's no perfect environment, there's no perfect world, there's no perfect spouse, there's no perfect parent, there's no perfect child, is there? So then my question to you is this. Why? The most important question of all. Why does something always seem to look better over there? Number one answer I get. Well, it's because I'm not over there. Do you realize that's the opposite of the truth? Do you know why that opportunity looks better than this opportunity? That situation looks better than this situation. That whatever, whoever looks better than whatever, whoever, is for one reason only. Because you spend more of your time looking over there than you are looking where you are. Who in this room wants this year and next year to be some of the best years you've ever had in your life? Raise your hands. Then I'm going to challenge you. Spend more time focusing on where you are compared to where you're not, and on the things you can control compared to things you can't control. True? And you know what? My most favorite movie. Some of you might think I'm silly. Gosh, I was in Albany, New York 3 weeks ago. 15,000 people. I didn't know that many people knew about the movie. Got a standing ovation. It's called Pollyanna. You know what I love about that movie? Fill in the blanks. If you look for the good in a person, guess what?
You find it.
You'll find it. If you look for the bad in a person. If you look for the good in this club. If you look for the bad. If you look for the good in the U.S. Open, come on. If you look for the bad, come on. You're awesome! Punch it! Almost gave you a headache, didn't it? So guess what life is? What you choose to look for, you're going to find. Say true. And what you find, you attract. What you attract, you become. That's your own destiny. I had this program down in Atlanta. This lady comes up to me. She goes, I saw you speak in Chicago. I brought my whole management team down to Atlanta. I said, why don't you just wait for me to come back to Chicago? She goes, no, we want to bring the whole management team down. I said, well, that's a great compliment. Her name is Leslie. She goes, can I talk to you at the break? I said, I'd love to talk to you at the break. She goes, can you explain to me why this happens to me, and 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 why this happens to me? And she was starting to scare me. I looked at her and I said, you want to know the truth? Do you know why I asked her that question? Everybody said, why? Why? Because most people don't want to know the truth. That's true. You'd be amazed how many people look me right back in the eyes and say, I already know the truth. I don't need to hear it from you. She goes, I want to know the truth. I said, good. I've got no idea what those things happen to you. I don't. All I know is things like that always happen to people like you. True or false? are there things in our life we can control? True or false? Are there things in our life we can control? Say true. True or false? Are there things in our life we cannot control? Say true. So guess what life is? If you focus on the things you can't control, you'll stay in control. If you focus on things you can't control, you'll put yourself out of control. Some people will not make it through the 7 days. They'll be exhausted. Do you know why? Everybody say why? Because you lost control of your focus. You're not going to run out of energy unless you lose your focus, and you're focusing on the things that are taking energy, not giving energy. You know what the biggest challenge you should have? Say what? After the 7 days, your life should never come back down. It should never be the same if you understand what's going on. And I understand, hello, McFly, some of you in this room will not grasp the concept. I didn't come here to change anybody. That's not my job in life. I came here to remind you. Don't let too many years be your enemy. And don't let too few years be your enemy. They can be both sides, good and bad. I meet some people that have been around long enough, they say the last thing we need is a bunch of headaches. Well, that's an enemy. And then we meet people that are very young that miss the whole chance because it came too soon, too fast, and you'll never see it again. And you know what's interesting? All I can ask you to do is this. I had a guy come to me and says, Mr. Dodge, would you come speak to my company? I said, I'd be honored to. Just like I was asked here today. I said, but I got a question to ask you. This is my 5th time. I said, why does your company want me back for the 5th time? He said, my people think you're the weirdest thing they've ever met in their life. That's what he said. I said, well, I'll take that as a compliment. He said, I need you 5 weeks now on a Friday. I said, no, can't be there. I got to be in Houston, Austin, Fort Worth, Darlington the same day. I said, where do you need me? He says, I need you in New Orleans. I said, duh. I can't go from New Orleans, Houston, Austin, Fort Worth, Darlington the same day. Not possible. He said, can your energy handle it? I said, I got no problem with the energy. I said, you can't cut me up. He said, then you can do it. I said, how's that? He says, I have a corporate jet. I went, ooh. He said, if you say yes, it's your corporate jet. What did I say? No. I said, can I bring my wife? Do you know why? Everybody say why? Because I know how to suck up. I went home to my wife and said, you need a corporate jet. You with me? You know what she said? No way. I said, you give me one reason why not. She said, that plane crashes, our kids have no parents. God, I hate when she's right. Then I thought about it for a little bit, and I said, you seem real comfortable sending me up there. Is there a life insurance policy I'm not aware of here? Make a long story short, I live in Lucas, Texas. Anybody in this room happen to know where Lucas, Texas is? Yeah, I didn't think so. I was too far. Our population is 3,100. I raise quarter horse and Labradors. And you know what's interesting? So I live out in the country. And you know what's interesting? We flew out of a little airport in McKinney, Texas at 4 in the morning. All there was Michael the pilot, Jennifer the co-pilot, and me. I had the whole plane myself. And you know what? It's fun to play football by yourself in an airplane because he taught me that you can throw it, you don't drop the plane down, I can run and catch it. I bet I'm the only one in the world who's ever had that chance. And you know what's interesting? He said that you throw it, I'll drop the plane, you run and catch it. It's awesome. And you know what's interesting? We're coming out of the air, right? And he says, I says, anyway, we can stay up and watch the sun come up. And he goes, why? Because we were coming, we already got done before the sun even came up. And he goes, I got a friend of mine. We went to high school together in Colorado Springs. Her name is Carol. And that's where I was born and raised. And she called me a couple months before I left, and she told me her situation. And I sent her my most popular album, How to Build a Better You. And then she called me a couple days before she left, and she said, Bryan, guess what I did last night? I said, what's that, Carol? She said, I sat and watched my son sleep for 2.5 hours. Just watched him sleep. Watched my daughter sleep for 2.5 hours. Saw a mole in the back of her eyes I'd never seen before, and I'm a mom. And then she said, I watched the sun come up for the first time and never got distracted. Oh my gosh. How many people in this room have never seen that? How many chances have you had? Then a guy yells out down there and goes, she needs to get a life. I said, sir, you're right. She's 41 years of age. They sent her home with morphine. She had terminal cancer. By the time I finished that tour, Carol was no longer even on this earth. Now, can somebody please explain to me what the heck our problems is as human beings? We cannot seem to appreciate the little things in life until you put on a short clock. True? And you know what's interesting? And this is not a stupid question, and I need you to raise your hands on it. Who in this room wants this year and next year to be some of the best years you've ever had in your life? Raise your hands. And you learn how to put yourself on a short clock because you want to, not because you have to. So you focus on the things that matter, so you receive the things that count. Do you know why most people are negative in this world? Say why. Say why. Say why. It's easier. It's easier to be negative than it is to be positive. Who in this room's ever signed up to go to a How to Be a Totally Pathetic Human Being seminar? This guy the other day raised his hand and says, I teach that sucker. Well, you know what? I'm very guarded around that boy. My whole point is this. You're born that way, folks. You have to learn to look for the good. You have to learn to make the right choices. You have to learn to go the right way. And that is a trait that will change your life for the rest of your life. Stay true. And you know what's interesting? See these three questions? Write them down quickly. Number one, how you choose to answer these three questions means everything. Number one, hello there, camera. How you guys doing over there? Number one is how many books have you read this past year? All I'm asking you to do is realize something. Readers are leaders. Always have been, always will be. And if you've gotten away from reading, who cares? Just get back. Nothing new in, nothing new out. Wax on, wax off. Old Danielson. And you know what's interesting? How many books do you think an average American reads in a year? What'd you guess? 20? That's the highest number I've ever heard in my life. Seriously, 15 was my highest. Now you just beat it. What's your name? Lois? You're either a very big time reader or very optimistic. It's 1.5. 60% never get beyond the third chapter. We have more people in America who can complete one book in 1 year. You understand how scary that is? Do you know how many books an average CEO of a Fortune 500 company reads in a week? 4. 3 industry specific and 1 to keep their eating up. You know why? Everybody say why? Because leaders know the way, go the way, show the way. You don't read for you. Duh! What good is that? You find good information and you give it to the people around you. If the people around you grow, you grow. If the people around you change, you change. You realize you're only as good as the people around you. And if you're not growing near them, and you know what's interesting? I'm going to recommend a book. We'll see how many of you've read it. I got a plane coming back to Oakland, California. 202 people on one plane, 73 in the same book. This Doubting Thomas the other day goes, how did you know there were 73? Hey, Mark, how you doing, man? Good to see you in the elevator. You're the man. And you know what's interesting? I said we had a contest. Duh. Who in this room's read Tuesdays with Maury? Raise your hands. All too cool. Is that not a great book? Hey, thanks for coming back. You're so nice. Hey, by the way, can I say something? Say yes. If you need to get up and stretch your legs, get up and stretch your legs. If you need to go and take care of something, go and take care of something. Just come back. Because remember something, folks. Today is not about me. Today is about you. Stay true. So you make yourself comfortable. You work your tail off to help other people be comfortable. Now it's your time to sit back, relax, and have some fun. Say yes. And by the way, you know why I recommend the book? Everybody say why? Because you can't make it happen through the book without wanting to give it to somebody you love. True? It's a good seed. Do you know good seeds help you change your life? Good seeds help you see that when people around you, they go, when I'm around you, I feel better about me. When I'm around you, I see things better. When I'm around you, I have more energy. When I'm around you, I always seem to go the better way. That's called a good seed. You know what a bad seed is? Everybody say yes. And by the way, I'm not saying Betsy, by the way. I just finished doing this program in Toronto, Canada. This lady jumps up and she goes, what's this thing about Betsy, eh? I said, Betsy? Is your name Betsy? She goes, yeah, I kept wanting to raise my hand. I said, no, not Betsy. I said, bad seed. B-A-D-S-E-E-D. You know what a bad seed is? A bad seed is when you love this business, you love this club, you love the excitement that's coming, and somebody says, why? It's not going to make a difference. You know what a bad seed is? It's when you're so excited to help somebody, and somebody says, why? They're not going to help you. You know what a bad seed is? When you want to open your heart, which you love to do, and somebody says, why? You're just going to get burned again. Who in this room, you know what a real bad seed is? A bad seed is when you're so excited about what's coming, not because of what's coming, but opportunity you're going to receive that could change your life. And somebody says, nothing's going to be different. Now you know what a bad seed is? Say yes. Say yes. Yes. Say yes! Yes! By show of hands, who in this room's ever had somebody give you a bad seed? Raise your hands. All right, I'm going to teach you the most powerful thing in the whole wide world. You ready? Say yes. Yes. But everybody's got to do this. If not, you're going to stand up and you're going to do it with me. Put your hands down like this. Everybody, I'll move up in front for the camera. Hello, camera. Okay, everybody at the same time. You ready? Say yes. Put your hands out like this. Everybody get up. Everybody get up. And from this day forward, somebody comes up and gives you a bad seed. Get up. You get right in their face and you go, bad seed, bad seed, bad seed. All right, now you turn to the person next to you and practice. Come on, big guy, let's go. Bad seed, bad. Come on, practice, you guys. Come on, man. Here you go. Here you go. Come on, come on. Bad seed, bad seed, bad seed. Hey, two things happen. Number one, settle down there, you guys. Two things happen. Number one is they think you're nuts. Say true. Number two, they don't mess with you no more, and that's good. Say true. By the way, this is only for in-house. Customers and club members don't appreciate it. Say true. I saw you go, well, I can't wait to use that. Well, that food is not very good at all. Bad seed, bad seed. No, not a good thing, guys. Not a good thing. And by the way, I did this program. It was so funny. I did this program. Oh, it's in Chicago. I'm after an all-day program, and I'm walking with the CFO, and I hear this guy go, bad seed, bad seed, bad seed. I said, do you mind if I go see where this is coming from? He goes, no problem. So I walked down this hallway, opened up this door to this guy's office, and he was in there by himself. I said, dude, what are you doing? He said, I was thinking a negative thought I'd reverse the process. I said, you don't man. You gotta protect yourself. Say true. Say true. Say true. Because if you don't, who's going to? Nobody. And you know what? Some of you got that, you ought to see the look on your face. She's got that look, oh my God, where do they find this guy? You know what's interesting? You know as well as I do, what I'm talking about is the truth. I didn't invent one thing I talked about, saying the truth. I did not. But the problem is that some of you got negative. There's only one reason you got negative, because you've chosen to go that way, because it's the easiest route. Right now, we're not asking you to take the easiest route. We're asking you to take the right route. Because you'll be happy you did. And you know who will not be happy? The other part of the world that wants you to be negative. The other part of the world that wants you to be sad. The other part of the world that doesn't want you to see what you're supposed to see when all these people come. The other part of the world says, I won. It showed up, it left, and you missed the whole thing, and you'll never get a chance like this in your life again, and I guarantee it. And you know what's interesting? I'm going to get my book. Now we're going to talk about number two. Number two, how many classes have you taken this past year? Folks, today is about growing, isn't it, Bryan? Today is about growing. Today is about opportunities. Stand up, Bryan. Stand up. Stand up. What part of stand up did you not understand? All right, folks, you know what I want to say? Bryan doesn't know. I just met him when I walked in. I talked to him. Tremendously enjoyable conversation. And I said, where are you going? You know what he wants to be? He is set up. He's going to college. He's going to be a teacher at high school level for history. Why? Because he understands how powerful history is to change people. No, you can't sit down yet. They change people's lives. You know what I love about our conversation? Everybody say what? He had an answer to where he's going in life. Can we give him a big round of applause? Thank you. And you know what? Most people don't have answers. And I'm going to teach you in goal setting. If you don't have an answer, then I get the right to give you one. And trust me, I ain't going to give you a very good one. Because that's human nature. And you know what's interesting? How many classes does a doctor have to take every year? 60 hours. How many hours does a CPA have to take? 40 hours. How many hours do you guys have to take legally, right? It doesn't care how good you are, you can go back to work. How many? No? Same way with me. In my profession called sales, you know what I hope? I hope in my lifetime I can influence my profession to accept 40 hours a year. You know what that would do? Raise our professionalism, raise our income average, and get rid of pushy salespeople overnight. How you choose to answer the second question affects one of the 45 undeniable truths in life. I do not have time to cover 45. but I'm going to cover two. Underneath number two, write this down. It's called the truth of the universe. It's called the truth of the universe. It's one of the most powerful truths that there is. I'm kind of a hypocrite, I say that about all of them. This is so powerful, folks. I live in Lucas. Why? I raised quarter horse and Labradors. Why? I used to rodeo for a living. That's what I did. I did calf roping, team roping, and bulls. Anybody in this room ever ridden horses before? Raise your hands. Then you now can appreciate what I'm about ready to say. You take the reins, you put them on the neck of that horse, and you let the reins go. You better hope two things. Number one is you better hope that horse knows where it's going, say true. Or you better hope that horse is around other horses knows where they're going, say true. You know what I call that? A good economy. During a good economy, you can lay the reins down, go for a ride. Folks, an opportunity is coming. Don't let the reins down, because you're going to miss the opportunity. What do I mean? Listen to me very carefully. The harder you will choose to be on yourself now when nobody's around, the easier life has to choose to get on you. Flip the coin over. The harder you go back to work on you, the easier life gets on you. Flip the corner. The easier you choose to be on yourself now when nobody's around, the harder life now has to choose to get on you. Everybody in this room knows somebody that things are not working out very well for them. Say true. There are things we cannot control. That's part of our life. But I'd be willing to bet you one thing. They've been too easy on themselves for too long. Caught up to them. Question number 3 is the name of the game. You ready? Say yes.
Yes.
If you're ready, say yes. Yes. How much money have you personally saved so far this year? You know what? I'm talking to a lot of young people here today, and I hope I do my job so well that you're going to understand what it's all about. It does not make a difference how much money you make in life. It doesn't. You know what makes the difference? Is what you keep. Here's a little statistics for you. There's more millionaires in America today as of last year that never made more than $41,000 in one calendar year. You know what the exact number is? $37,842. My mother-in-law, 9 children, her highest year income was $11,900. And today she's worth $2.3 million. It doesn't make a difference what you make. It only matters what you keep. Now, I'm going to ask you a very important question. Many of you are very young. I know many of you are not going to raise your hands, but that's your choice. Who in this room wants to be totally financially independent in your lifetime? That's what life is all about, is it not? It's getting to the point where it works for you instead of you working for it. Do you know why society is going to convince you every day to spend more than you make? Everybody say, why?
Why?
To keep you in the labor force as long as it can. True? I'm going to recommend a book. This book has been in the marketplace longer than all of us put together. Roger Staubach has it on his entryway. Lee Iacocca gave her 100,000 of them. Herb Kelleher bought one for every single employee in Southwest Airlines, 3rd year running the company. And the book's only this thick, and at a half-price bookstore, you can buy it for $1.75. And nothing personal, but if you can't afford $1.75, you need the book better. Say true. And the name of the book is called The Richest Man in Babylon. Who's read it? Wow. Who's read it? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. How long ago did you read it? 2 years ago. How come? The need for it. Who gave it to you? Isn't that amazing? You know what he said? I said, when did you read it? 2 years ago. Why? The need. Who gave it? His brother. Great brother. Great brother, isn't it? You ought to see you try to answer and run that camera at the same time. You're doing good. Can we get a big round of applause? You're doing awesome. You the man. You the man. And would you not recommend that book to everybody in this room? Yes. Now you want to see something pretty powerful? Say yes. Underneath number 3, write this down. It's called the truth of diminishing intent. The truth of diminishing intent. This is one of the most powerful truths that there is in the world today. I'm kind of hypocrite, I said it all. You know what the truth of diminishing intent is? I just came back from LA, the police department in LA. I asked them, what's the biggest problem and how can I help? You know what they said it was? Road rage. Denver, Colorado, number 3, road rage. Dallas, Texas, number 5, road rage. I don't know what Chicago is, but based on my taxi ride, pretty high. Because it was an experience. But you know what's interesting? I don't know about you, but when I went to learn how to drive, it said, if I turn on my blinker, that's my way of asking you to help me out. See, in Texas, I think it means something different. See, in Texas, I think it means that I want to race you. The speed kicks up every time you turn that bloody blinker on. Every so often, let's be honest, we turn on our blinker and people go out of their way. Say true. When they do that, what's the one thing we go out of our way to do? Come on. We wave in the mirror, don't we? And if they don't see us, we're hanging out the window. You the man! God bless America! We are so bloody happy, and all of a sudden we need to slow down. True? What in the world's going on here? For whatever my opinion's worth, here's my opinion. You ready? Say yes. Yes. Then we're going to have a quick break. You ready? Say yes. Yes. We've been too busy for too long doing what doesn't matter that we cannot find time to do what does matter. And how do you really know what matters? Everybody say how. How? Follow your heart. Your heart doesn't lie to you. I hate to break the news to you. It's true, isn't it? Who in this room's ever met somebody before that you felt very uncomfortable around? Raise your hands. Look at some of you go, yeah, you. Who in this room's ever met somebody you felt very comfortable around? Come on. See, we know it like that, don't we? You know who really knows it? My labs. Funny thing about labs, they don't have an agenda. And you know what's interesting? What does the truth of diminishing intent say? Right? Don't write it down, listen. What comes to your heart, you got 48 hours to get it done or society's going to distract you. I'd be willing to bet everything I own, and it's not a lot, but it's everything to me. I can sit down with every one of you and figure out a phone call. You still have me. Ooh, that's been a long time. You know, I know a lot. Family issues need to be resolved. Friend situation, almost too late. Kate, who in this room has kids? Raise your hands again. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy in my life. Kate, age 17, 2 weeks for graduation at Plano East. Her mom has booked my flights for over 13 years now. Her name's Sharon. She comes home and says, Mom, I don't feel very well. Mom texts her doctor. Doctor says she got the flu. Sends her home with some antibiotics. At 1:30 in the morning, she knocks on Mom and Dad's door. Mom gets up. Dad gets up. He said, what is it, Kate? Kate said, Mom and Dad, I just want to let you know something. I love you more than anything in the whole wide world, but I got this terrible feeling I'm dying. You know what I do now? Say what? I never want to be on that end of the conversation with my kids. I have issues. I call that a problem, don't you? You know what I do know? She never made it to the car. You know what I do know? At that funeral, you couldn't put another human body in the church. Not possible. They put the flag at half-mast, and only the President of the United States could drop that flag down. She was no great athlete. She was no great student. She was an angel. You understand what I'm talking about, don't you? And you know what? The teacher comes up to me and says, Mr. Dodge, can I share a story? I said, who the heck am I to say yes or no? Do you know why she asked me? Everybody say why. Everybody say why. Why? Because I am to share it with you. You're going to be asked to do something. The difference is, did you hear it? And are you following? You've got a gift. You've got a gift. And you definitely have a gift. Put up with both of them. But you know what's interesting? All I'm asking you to do is this. We are called, are we not? And you know what's interesting? She said, Kate graduated my class 4 years ago. She's my most favorite student I've ever taught. How important the teachers. Bless you. That was a good one. Don't hold back. And you know what's interesting? She says, the necklace I got around my neck, she gave it to me. My father loved it so much, I gave one to him before he passed away. She goes, 2 weeks ago, Kate's name just popped in her head. Now, let's be totally honest right now. Who in this room has ever had a name pop in your head that you haven't thought about in a while? Raise your hands. Now you know exactly what we're talking about, don't you? She had 2 weeks and 2 blocks. She could have walked there with tears coming from her eyes like I never want to see again. I don't want to see tears that have no end to them. She said, I never will. She's dead. What I'm asking you to do is realize something. Right now is your chance to get your life in an upward momentum factor. Right now is your chance to create what you are all about. Preparing for the event. The U.S. Open is the event. You are more important than the U.S. Open. If you understand what we're talking about. There are phone calls that need to be resolved. There are apologies that need to be made. And there are people that need to be forgiven. If you do that, within 48 hours, you are preparing for the event. And you will be there and receive what all this has to offer you. You want to see how powerful this is? Say yes.
Yes.
There's how many people in this room altogether? Approximately. Jeff, how many? 350. Out of 350 people, plus how many we have over there? Altogether, 350? Okay, so 400 people. You want to see something unbelievable? Say yes.
Yes.
Say yes. Out of 400 people in this room, you all said you want to be financially independent. Let me clarify. Who in this room wants to be totally broke in your life? There's always one of them goes, that's my story and I'm sticking with it. Okay, out of 400 people in this room, I just recommended a book that everybody that's ever reached financial independence will tell you that's a must-read book. Easy to get, easy to read. Based on the truth of diminishing intent. Do you know how many of you are going to go get that book and read it by the end of the year 2003? I'll tell you exactly. Out of 40, there will be 15 of you that will try to get the book. That's it. Only 5 of you will actually get the book. That's it. 10 of you will wander over to Starbucks instead. And you know who you are, you little venti non-fat latte. You spent more money on the coffee than you would on the book. And now we're down to 5. Do you know how many of you can actually read it out of 400 people? In this environment, 2 will read the book. Why? It's a 200 to 1 ratio. You got just enough time and just enough people to only get 2 people in this whole room. I can see the look on your face. I'll get that book, I'll smack them upside the head with it. Make my day. You to me, don't you? You know what's going to happen? That ain't going to happen. A week from now, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, you can drive down the road. You're going to say, I didn't get the book, I didn't get the book, I didn't read the book, I didn't read the book, I hate him. Can I say something? Say yes. When that happens, look in the mirror and accept the truth. You didn't make a phone call. Folks, we're going to get ready for break. But you can take all those little napkins back there if you'd like. You want to take all those napkins back there?
No, I'm fine.
Are you fine?
I just had to clean up a little mess.
You did a little
So
mess.
just wait.
You did such a good job. And you know what's interesting? Now you want to see how powerful this is? Say yes. When you didn't get the book, look in the mirror and accept the fact you didn't make the phone call either. What I'm asking you to do is do the things that matter in life, and you will receive the things that count in life. Say true. Now what we're going to do before we break is I'm going to cover one of the laws of leadership. So we're going to do this in 2 minutes, and then we're going to break. Everybody ready? Say yes. We're going to now talk about taking ownership of leadership, where it says down here, fill in the blanks. Leaders know the way, they go the way, they show the way. Fill in the blanks. Leaders know the way, they go the way, and they show the way. You can be good or even great without leadership skills, but you will never be the best. Understand that. You will never be the best unless you understand leadership. See what it says down here? The laws of personal leadership. We're going to cover one, then take a break. Law number 1, by the way, who in this room has people reporting to you? Raise your hands. Who in this room has family? Raise your hands. Who in this room has friends? Raise your hands. Who in this room is looking for a friend? Raise your hands. I mean, give me a break. We lead every second of every moment of our life. Some of you going, well, I'm not a leader. This doesn't apply to me. You want to see how powerful this is? Say yes. You want to see how powerful this is? Next time you walk up, somebody go, Ed, it's very good to see you, right? Just stare at his hair. How you doing, Ed? Everything going fine? You're looking good. You doing good? What happens the minute I walk away? What's he do? Jeez, what's this deal? Right? You really want to make a difference? Say yes. Next time you walk up, somebody go, hey, hi, my name's Bryan. Your name is? Adam, right? Say, good to see you, Adam. Everything going well, Adam? Everything fine, Adam? Right? What happens the minute he walks away? What's he do? Yeah, sure, what's the deal here? I mean, you can influence people that easy by just looking at them going, you're going to influence booger. Oh, do you realize, if you realize the power of what I just demonstrated, you're going to realize that you can choose to influence people the right way. Say true. And if you choose to, then you will go the right way. Or you can choose to influence people who go the wrong way, can't you? And if you do, where do you go? The wrong way. Do you understand? That's what life is all about. And do not choose to go the wrong way. Why? Everybody say why? Who in this room wants to fail in life, have a miserable life, never be happy in life, and be a pathetic human being? There's where those people end up. I know some of you say that was me. No, that was truthful. Somebody says, well, I'm not happy today. Whose choice was that? That's your choice. And you know what's interesting? I coach soccer. Anybody in this room coach? I had 2 laws. Law number 1 is no cussing and no bad seeds. And that includes my parents. I coach 13-year-olds. We're down in Houston in the semifinals, tournament. We're up by 2. One of my dads lets loose. So I had a choice, didn't I? Do I teach my kids that the laws only matter when they don't matter? Or do they always matter? Say always. I called over this highly professional seasoned referee. She was 16. Are you following me here, folks? So I said, Leela, would you do me a favor? Would you tell that coach that we're in a forfeit? She goes, why would you do that, Coach Dodge? You're up by 2. We're in the semifinals. You've already beaten the other team, and everybody's talking about your team. You're going to win the tournament. I said, I didn't come here to win a tournament. I came here to teach my kids. Understand what this is all about. And then she broke my heart. She goes, you're not doing this because of what your dad just said. I said, yes, I am. You broke the law. She goes, don't worry about it, Coach Dodge. I'm used to it. Folks, I don't know about you, but I don't think it's a good thing to have 16-year-old people or 15-year-old people or 50-year-old people or 2-year-old people. Age makes no factor to me. Get used of people doing the wrong thing. Say true. So I looked at her and I says, I might not have a lot to offer in life, but right now I do have one thing to offer. These are my sidelines. And while I'm on my sidelines, you're not going to get used to it. There's a lot of sidelines in this world, but today, these are mine. What I'm asking you to do is take charge of your own sidelines. Say true. Because if you do, everybody on your sidelines are going to be happy you did. And guess what? Guess who understood in this whole situation? The kids. They all said exactly the same thing when they came to the sidelines. I didn't say it! I didn't say it! I didn't say it! I didn't say it! Mr. MP, I give all my kids nicknames. He's Mr. Politician. He's my informer. He says, Coach Dodge, I know who said it. I said, I do too, MP. He goes, we were hoping you didn't hear him. I said, I know. Who didn't understand in this whole situation? The parents. They were mad. Hotel, travel, food, they came for the trophy. After the threats, I realized some things hadn't changed. Say true. So I called my parents up and I said, you will all be at practice on Tuesday night or your kids are not getting on the bus with me to go to Washington, D.C. for a tournament. If you're in practice, they go. If not, they don't go. They thought they were playing the kids. So they all got new shorts and new shirts and new shoes. And they showed up and I said, you're on that team, you're on this team. 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 One of the parents goes, which team's the kids on, Coach? I said, thanks for asking. Hey, kids, come on in. They all came in. I said, everybody get on the line. They all got on the sidelines. I said, get on me. They all got on me. And I said, here's what we're going to do. While your parents are playing full field, full schedule, with an official, you are to be on the sidelines and act like your parents. You should have seen the look on their faces. So there's mom and dad. Their son. Run, Mom, run! Son, this is wide open there. You can't hit the side of the line, Dad! And this one dad, he was a big boy. His whole favorite thing was, suck it up! So there he is out there dying. His son, suck it up, Dad! Suck it up, Dad! Suck it up, Dad! Well, you know what? We had zero problem from that day on. See, we can all be so critical, but let's put you on the field and see how critical you are. Say true. So you know what the first law is? Say what? When in charge, take charge. Fill it in. When in charge, take charge. You are in charge of the U.S. Open. Your legacy, as it's seen throughout the world, is going to know how you felt, how you see, how you work together, the chemistry, the enthusiasm, and there's going to be people that's going to be part of this program that's going to find you, and your life will never be the same because you showed up properly and you got seen. You follow what I'm about to say? You're going to meet people that don't need to know more than anything else than what they saw you do. And they say, that's somebody that needs to go higher. That's somebody that needs to do something different. That's somebody that needs to be asked to be a part of something else. I was invited today to remind you, set up to be prepared to do your best, because if you understand that, the 8th day, you know what your problem will be? Sleeping. You're going to be so excited about life. We have 15-minute break. Folks, we're going to have to move fast. Can you help me with that? Say yes. Yes. Everybody's got to move fast. Take 15 minutes, be back in your seats. Go. I knew this. He has no, he's bouncing around now. Now remember, I just want to clarify, I heard some bad seeds during the break there. It's okay to keep that in the house. All right. I think we got some people coming in. All right, let's go to work. Everybody ready? Say ready. All right, we're going to talk about the second laws of leadership. There are 3 key laws of leadership. Number 2 is, fill in the blanks. It never gets better than the interview. It never gets better than the interview. Now some of you are going, what does that have to do based on what I do? Everything. What do I mean? Folks, when you make a recommendation to another human being, if that recommendation is a good recommendation, who wins? Both. If that recommendation is a poor recommendation, who loses? Both. So remember something, right, Emily? That you must think through your recommendations. I had this lady come to me in my company and she said, Mr. Dodge, I'd like to go to work for your company. I said, oh, am I happy to see you. I had 3 positions that needed to be filled quickly. I said, let me ask you this. Why are you interviewing with my company? You know what she said? I have no idea. You know what I said to her? I am so proud of you for being able to say the truth. You know how powerful the truth is? The truth is so powerful. No doors in your life will ever be opened that are the most important doors in your life until you speak the truth. Say truth. So I looked at her and I said, well, based on your honesty, now I got to change my focus. It's no longer about my company, it's about you. And I said, if you could do anything you wanted to do in life, and all you had to do was pick it, and the minute you picked it, you would be the best there ever was at it, what would you do? You know what she said? I'd be a missionary in South Africa. She's been down there now for 14 years. You know why she interviewed with me? Everybody say why? Everybody say why? Because I knew the person she needed to talk to that got her there. Now, if she wouldn't have told me the truth, I wouldn't have known the direction. And if I wasn't listening, I would have asked the right questions. It takes 2 people interviewing for the right reason that puts people in the right place. True? Our job in life is to put people in a place that they're going to succeed. That's what the most important job is. And law number 3. Everybody ready? Stay ready.
Ready.
Law number 3. If you can't change the people, you got to change them. Look at the look on some of your faces. If you can't change the people, you got to change them. So remember something in life. And some of you going, I hope a name didn't just pop in your head and they're sitting next to you. I hope you understand something in life. You ready? Say yes. You show me who you're hanging around, and you show me the books that you're reading, and I'll show you where you're reading 5 years. What I'm asking you to do, you ready? What's your name? What? Net? Nick. Is my ear? I got a hearing problem. Emily do the same thing to me. I think my ears have not popped. Maybe that's what the problem is. I'm sorry. You know what's interesting? Say what? There are people that are not going to be part of this club. That you in your life will never ever be able to stand next to, or to watch, or to see, or to overhear, or to talk to. You'll see them on TV. You'll read about them in magazines. But you know what the truth is? Everybody say what? TV and magazines puts people in a higher light than they really are. You know what you're going to see? You're going to see normal people that do a few extra things extremely well. And what you're going to realize, I guarantee it, you're going to say, well, that guy can do it. I can do it. How many times I hear people say, I didn't know he was that small. It looks so big on TV. Don't bet. It was that easy. Success is easy. Say true. But it's also easy not to be successful. Say true. Repeat after me. Is it easy to read? Say yes. Say yes. Is it easy not to? Say yes. Is it easy to eat? Say yes. Is it easy not to? Say yes. So guess what? No, it's not. If you don't eat, you're dead. See, you have to eat. If you don't eat, you die. You don't have to read. Now you understand the difference? Reading is a choice. It's called disciplines. And it all starts with something. And that's what makes the difference here today. And you know what down here? See where it says, turn over the page. Now we're going to go into the 3 key components of greatness in life. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go through this very quickly. Fill in the blanks with me. On the left-hand side, right knowledge. On the right-hand side, right skills. And the bottom of the triangle, I'll tell you what it is in a minute. This is the most powerful factor in the world, I think. Knowledge and skills in the bottom of the triangle. My question to you is this. Is knowledge and skills one and the same? No. What's the difference?
What you know and what you do.
Exactly. Knowledge is what you know. Skills is what you can do. Which one of these makes you more money in life? Come on. Knowledge? Nope. Skills. How many of you in this room know a professional student? How many of you are raising one? Don't raise your hands. Knowledge is what you know. Skills is what you can do with it. There's where your money is. Put a dollar sign before skills. Above skills. Above knowledge, put time. And here's the key. Here's the whole difference in life. How do you know which side of the triangle you're on? One question. If I asked an average American this question, you tell me what they'd say. If I walked up to an average American and I said, what are you studying? What do you think they say? Nothing. My question to them is, how long have they been doing it? True? If you're studying something, you're on the skilled side of the triangle and your life is growing. If you're not studying anything, you're on the knowledge side of the triangle and it's not. You know how powerful this is? Ask me what I'm studying.
What are you studying?
Water skiing. You know why? Everybody say why.
Why?
Who in this room's ever water skied before? Then you can appreciate what I've already said. First of all, you find out real quick if you're in shape or out of shape. Second is you find out it's changed a lot. Hitting 6 buoys at 32, at 16 off, and you know what you find? You find one thing. It looks easier than it is. Getting around the buoys is no problem. It's getting from that buoy to that buoy in time is the problem. And you know what? So my sons and my daughter all love to water ski. So we're doing it together. I've studied my business for almost 17 years. But you know what? By me studying water skiing and seeing the difference in the boats and the speeds and the skills and the techniques and all the things, it creates everything else in here to grow as well. And you know what? We have goals. Our goal last year was to hit 2 tournaments. We hit 2 tournaments. The second tournament was my last one of the year because my son said that I broke the record. I said, what's that? Well, he says, between my son and my daughter, they said I ricocheted off the water more than any human being's ever hit before. I was going through the 5th buoy and I got a little over front. And I was bound and determined to get that 6th buoy because I was going to complete that route. Well, I didn't. As I hit the water, I skipped, and they pulled me out of the bank, right? 6 ribs, broken finger, and a few other things. My son was laughing. My daughter fell off the boat, laughing so hard. She said, Dad, I never knew a human body can look so funny. And you know what? Now we talk about it forever. What I'm asking you to do is realize something. It doesn't always have to be your life and what you've done for a long time. It can be something else that brings the whole family back alive. True? And you know what's interesting? The bottom of the triangle is one word, commitment. Commitment. Oh my gosh, this is so powerful. How do you know if you're committed in life? It's very simple. There's one thing that never lies to you, always tells you the truth, and always has. You start the day with it every day. It tells you if you're committed. It tells you if you're not committed. It tells you if you're focused. It tells you if you're not focused. What is it? What would you guess? Nope, that's not it. What do you guess? What? Heart! No, that's not it. Mind! That's not it. What do you guess? What? Conscience! That's not it. Attitude! That's not it. What do you guess? I don't know. That's not it. What do you guess? Come on. What do you guess? Come on, somebody guess. Who said you? Oh, stand up. Stand up, say it louder. No, that's not it. I couldn't resist. You're awesome. You know what it is? Everybody say what? It's your alarm clock. Your alarm clock doesn't lie. If you had to have an alarm clock drag your moon down to bed today, you weren't looking forward to today, let's be truthful. Say true. There are times in your life you're so excited about something in your life you did not need an alarm clock. Say true. Ryan, was I sleeping when you called me this morning? No. We had a nice time. You called me and go, well, you got your wake-up call. Dude, where you been? We're chit-chatting back and forth. I was looking forward to today. You know what's interesting? But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. If it takes an alarm clock to wake you up, then you're not that excited about life. But if you know what's interesting? But it's okay. It's okay to have an alarm clock wake you up. It's okay to have one drag you out of bed. It's okay to hit 13 snooze buttons and rationalize 5 more seconds worth of sleep so you stick your head out of the window and dry it. It's okay to do that. But it's not okay to have an alarm clock wake you up for a year. Say true. Because life is too short to go through that. And what I'm going to ask you to do is understand the power of what I'm about ready to say. If an alarm clock has to wake you up, there's only one reason. You're not looking forward to the real things that matter in life. If you're looking forward to it, you don't need an alarm clock, do you? You're too excited about life, aren't you? And you're up and going because that's what matters. And the most important thing is this. There are A's and B's in life. Write down an A and a B. This is so powerful. To be an A, all you have to be is the most amazing thing. We are both A's and we are both B's. The key in life is to be happy as an A and to be happy as a B. That's how simple life is. An A, to have the best year, the best life you've ever wanted in your life. All you have to do is be an A 51% of your life. That's it. You know, there are days when I'm home, I don't want to get out of bed. And I make it clear to the family, this is my lazy day. So nobody mess it up. Don't give me any honey-do lists. Are you with me on this one? There are days you just need to be totally non-committed. You know why? Let me say why.
Why?
Because then you'll have the energy to be totally committed. What's an A? Follow along with me. An A gets up more often before the alarm clock than after. That's how you know. There's no gray area in that statement. That's how you know. An A develops the disciplines. I want you to write the word disciplines right here. The A develops the disciplines. Terry Bradshaw taught me this. I think the world of the guy. He's a crazy guy. I asked him, I said, Terry, what do you contribute success to? You know what he said his was? Not getting bored with doing the same thing over and over and over again. He said, I throw that football 1,000 times exactly the same way every single day of his life playing football. He said, today, an average kid throws it 100 times, gets bored, and makes a game out of it. Who in this room has ever seen the movie Forrest Gump? Now you know why we love the movie. You know why we love the movie? There's not one of us in this room that wouldn't like to run or play ping pong like he did. It was his focus that drew us into the movie. And you know what's interesting? If you get up before the alarm clock and after, you're an A. If I ask you what you're studying and you have an answer, you're an A. That's how you know. By you choosing to go this way, you've created what we call upward, consistent growth with your knowledge. Your knowledge has become alive. And you know what's interesting? Who in this room has ever seen the movie Phenomenal? Remember John Travolta living in a town? He gets zapped by lightning, didn't he? And his brain starts growing. Remember that? And John Travolta walks up to him out of a bar. He walks in the bar and he says, I'm reading 3 books a day now. And his buddy follows him out of the bar and goes, 3 books a day? What about? You got to understand, his beer buddy hadn't read 3 books in his lifetime. John Travolta turns around and says, about everything I've always wanted to know. Do you understand the power of that? If you know what you want to know, that means your brain is active. If you do not know what you want to know, that means your brain's dormant. And you know what? B. Here's a B. You ready? Say yes. Say yes. A bee has to have a warm cloud. Wake you up. It's okay. Be a happy bee. A bee, their life, their income, their finances, their health, their family, their friends are all being harder on them. Why? Everybody say why?
Why?
Because they've been too easy on themselves, caught up to them. You can always tell a bee. A bee thinks you're not going well for them. That's how you know. We're all A's, we're all B's. True? Just don't be a bee too long. You ask them what they're studying, they say nothing. They do not have upward consistent growth. They're very inconsistent with the knowledge they've had for years. They haven't changed. I'm going to read something to you, and you tell me what am I. Listen to every word, follow along with me. Ready? Say yes. I am your greatest friend or your heaviest burden. I had this one lady yell out, my husband. Bad seed, bad seed. I can carry you on to success or tear you down to failure. And yet, I'm at your complete control. Oh, I love that. And yet, I'm at your complete control. Half the things you do, you turn them over to me. And I can do them effectively and efficiently. I am easily managed. Hey, underline that, please. I am easily managed. You merely have to be firm with me. I am the servant of all great men and women. I am the master of failure. I am not a machine, but I work with the efficiency of a machine and the intelligence of a human. Run me for profit, turn me for ruin, makes no difference to me. Be easy with me, and I will destroy you. What am I? What? Yourself. Nope. Attitude. Nope. Who said time? Oh, stand up. Everybody? Nope, that's not it. Hey, don't do that. You the man. Come on, punch it. What am I? Come on. What am I? Huh? Brain. Nope, not the brain. What am I? Be easy with me, I'll destroy you. Be firm with me, you will grow. I am your best friend, and I am your most powerful enemy. What am I? Huh? Self. Nope. Good answer, though. Heart? No. Conscience? Very good answer. We're getting close. There's one thing that makes all the difference, and every one of you have total control of it, and it has total control of you in both positive and negative aspects of your life. Every successful person that's going to be walking on that, what? Ego. No. I like that, though. Huh? Attitude! No. The hell? The ego is like this, like an attitude. He goes, oh, that's not it. What am I? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Huh? No. 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 What's this?
Discipline.
I am your disciplines. Period. Be easy with me and I'll destroy you. You know that. Right? We've been around long enough, haven't we? You be easy with your disciplines and I'll destroy you. You be firm with it and I'll create you. You know what makes the difference? It's some people in an industry called golf have been extremely disciplined. And that's why the masses will show up every day. 50,000 plus people. Now, on bodies alone, are going to walk onto this club. And for one reason, because a few have been extremely disciplined in one area. Say true. Now, that's only 50,000. How many people are going to be watching? Millions. You know how powerful that is? You be disciplined in your life. You take your gift and you be disciplined with it, and they will show in large numbers. Gifts are as easy to see as the color of the eye. And you know what's interesting? All I can ask you to do is this. You want to see how powerful this is? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. All right? What's your name?
Bill?
Bill? You married?
Yes.
Cool. What's your wife's name?
Ann?
Ann? Cool. Any kids?
Yep.
How many kids?
4.
4? Ha! You the man. Good job. Are they here?
No.
No? Where do you live?
Mantino?
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to be home this weekend?
No.
Cool. No, you're not going to be home this weekend? You're going to be home in a while. Here's the key. I'm going to come to your house. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to come to your house, and I'm going to knock on the door. I'm going to look at your house, and I'm going to say, well, I like your house. I'm going to look at the kids, and I'm going to say, I really like your kids. I'm going to look at the cars, and I really like the cars. And I'm going to look at your wife, and I say, I really like your wife. And I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to say, you must leave now. I want your house. I want the kids. I want the cars. I want the money. And I want your life. Now, why do I have a feeling somebody's going to die in this conversation? And you know what? Say what? Say what?
What?
Say what? Society never comes through the front door. Do you know why? Everybody say why? Because you'll fight. Society doesn't want to fight. It comes through the back door. How does it come to the back door? Say how. I get you not spending time with your kids when it matters and you lose the relationship. I get you to spend more money than you make and you lose the house, the cars, and everything you have. And then I get you to make the wrong choice and you lose your wife. I got it all. And I didn't have to even put up one bed of sweat. You want to be successful? Say yes. Say yes. Guard the front and the back door of your life. Say true. Because the back door is almost more important than the front door. Correct? And what I'm asking you to do is, if you understand the power of what life is all about, you will guard it like you've never guarded it in your life. Because there's nothing more powerful than life than all the things that you have. Unfortunately, we cannot appreciate it as human beings until you lose it. That's not what this is about. And you know why people do that? Everybody say why. Everybody say why. Because some of you in this room will not understand what's going to happen in these 7 days. And it will go and pass. And not for years to come, you'll look back and go, I missed it. It was a choice. That's all it was. And now down here, turn the page. Now we're going to go to goal setting. Oh my gosh, this is my most favorite part of the program. Who in this room has ever heard somebody talk about goal setting before? Raise your hands. Ah, you want to see something funny? Say yes. What percent of people in the world write their goals down and write them? 2%. What do you guess? 1%. What do you guess? 5%. What do you guess? 4%. What do you guess? 3%. What do you guess? What's your name? What? Okay, what do you guess? 10%. What do you guess?
I'd say 8%.
8%. What do you guess? 14%. You know what I know? I have no idea what it is. I don't. You know what I do know? Say what? Say what? Not enough people do. That I do. And you know what? Here's what I do know. Is why. When you understand the whys in life, you'll then understand the hows. Listen to me very carefully. Some will understand this, most of you will not. Those that understand the hows always end up working for those that understand the why. Do you know why you write down goals? Why do you write down goals?
To achieve.
To achieve them! Nope, that's not right. Why do you write down goals?
That's what that is.
Okay, why do you write down goals? To remember them. It's that memory thing. We'll work on that later. No, that's not right. Why do you write down goals? Memory, why do you write down goals? Huh? Incentive. To give you the opportunity to move into the future, to grab energy for today's activities. Wrong. Why do you write down goals? To get something done. To get something done, because how do you know you got it done if you didn't write it down? You're wrong. Everybody say wrong. Why do you write down goals? I saw you go. He's coming by the way. I'm not looking. To achieve. To step up and commit so that you can seize the opportunity. Wrong. Why do you write down goals? I don't know. Wrong. Why do you write down goals? To achieve. Wrong. You know why you write down goals? Everybody say why. Everybody say why. You know who changed my life? Lou Holtz. He did. You know why? I read books, went to classes, had coaches, had people all my life tell changed my life. I still didn't do it. Don't know why, procrastination, whatever. I wouldn't do it until he ticked me off. I'm sitting on a plane, sitting next to him. He goes, you want to see my goals? What are you going to say to him? New holes. No, you're a shoemaker. I don't want to see your goals. He reached in his pocket, fumbled around for a second until he found this. There's a card. He carries with him everywhere. So I buy ever since that flight. He said, here, take it. So I took it. I started reading. And he said, well, since you're looking at mine, I guess I have the right to look at yours. I felt like a codfish. So I'm flipping through my time planner trying to find some place I might have written something. He looks at me and says, obviously you've not written your goals down. So since you have not, you do not have the right to see mine. That ticked me off. I swore that day that I would never be in that position ever again, and I have not, and I thank him. You know why I thank him? Say why. Because these are not my goals. These are Zachary's, my youngest, and Jonathan and Coley. All three of my kids now live by the concept. He not only changed my life, he changed my whole family's life. You want to impact yourself in life, say yes. And you impact the people that are around, the people that they love more than anything in this world. Now we're going to write down why you write down goals. See where it says the value of written down goals? If a goal is written down, it's a what? It's a goal. If not, it's a wish. Why do you write down goals? Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. Here's the reasons why. Everything you just explained to me was correct, but it's not the real reason. You know what the real reason is? Everybody say what?
What?
Everybody say what?
What?
It's a responsibility. Listen to me very carefully. Goals are a responsibility. If you choose not to write them down, you've given up the responsibility. But the key to always remember is responsibilities don't go away, do they? Somebody else has to do it for you. And can I break the news to you? Say yes. Society will never write down as good goals for you as you live for yourself. Say true. See, understand, if you do not write them down, if they don't go away, society has got them written for you. Here's the reasons why. Number one is to help you become better organized. Fill in the blanks. To help you become better organized. Number two is to help you save time. I'll teach you in time management here how to manage your time very, very effectively. Number three is to increase your imagination. Imagination. Now remember something, folks. There are three killers to memory. Stress, Hollywood, and age. Hollywood's killing you. You know why? Everybody say why?
Why?
Because as a little girl, I could put you on the beach with a spoon, you'd be done for a week. It's called imagination. As a little boy, I could put you in this room all by yourself. You imagine the fun you'd have with these chairs? It's called imagination. You know what you do now? You labor all week to make money, and then you pay Hollywood to entertain you. So guess what muscle you do not use anymore? Your imagination. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Next one, to provide a standard for measuring results. I own that name, results. I own it throughout the United States and Canada. My website's results.com. And I implore you, if any of you like information on the internet, go to my website, click on the e-zine. It's a magazine. I send it to you for free. Once a month, not weekly, not daily. You don't need to hear from anybody on a daily basis. We started with 7 last year in January. This edition went out this month at 84,000. And a friend of mine said, Brian, you're not considering my division in craft has 35,000 employees, and all my employees read it every month. Just go to the website, click on it, it'll come to each month free. And you know what's interesting? I started something in my life because of Lou Holtz. And now I realize I'm done as a father, maybe as a granddad. But when I meet, I showed him my little goals. And these goals are not mine, these are Zachary's. And I have a tradition now in my household that at age 12, we sit down and we write down their 18 goals. Somebody asked the other day, goes, how come 18? We just came up with 18. There's no mathematical formula whatsoever. Just came up with 18. Yours could be 20, yours could be 100. And then I make them a promise. He signed it, just like Jonathan, just like Coley did. He put his brother and sister in the lab's picture on the back side. And then we have dinner as a family. And I give each and every one of these to everybody in the family. And then we all come together with one goal. We're going to help Zachary hit all 18 of his goals. Because if he does, on his 16th birthday, I buy them the car of their choice. As long as it's under $400. Are you with me? And you know what? Coley got a used Mustang. Why don't you all share one in life? It was a white Mustang. I delivered that car 30 days for her birthday. You know why? Everybody say why?
Why?
Everybody say why?
Why?
Because too many accidents happen because too much excitement in too short a period of time. In Texas, now they put a law. When you get your vehicle and you turn 16, you can't have more than one person in a car for over 6 months. Why? Because too many parents were handing cars and keys on the day of the birthday. They were going out and partying and having a wreck. Design your life. Don't risk it. You all know what TIP stands for. What's it stand for? To ensure prompt service. So when should you give it? In advance. If I go out with my wife, I never tip after a meal. And you know what's interesting? Why is that car delivered 30 days for her birthday? On top of a flatbed with balloons wrapped around it and a banner that said, life is full of good choices. Congratulations on your good choices. You know why? Because for the next 30 days, she couldn't drive it. She had a car party. She had all her friends out and had a party around the car. She waxed it more times than I know. She slept in it 4 nights. And only Coley can sleep in the backseat of a Mustang because it's not a lot of room back there. I got a picture of my daughter sleeping in the back, shell curled up like this. It's my most favorite picture in the whole wide world. The day that car, the day she could turn the keys was old news. Everybody had seen the car. Everybody had been excited. It's old news. So now she can drive comfortably. Design your life. Don't risk it. But you know what? When Nicole drove out of that driveway, who was tugging on my pant leg? Jonathan. Dad, when are we going to sit down and write my goals down? Because when they see the right thing, they want to go the right way. Say true. And you know what? Down here where it says, ready? Okay, number 5. To increase your enthusiasm in life. When you start writing, you start dreaming. When you start dreaming, you start getting enthusiastic. You know what's so sad? Everybody say what? I see more people get more excited about a vacation than they do their whole life. They plan more of their vacation than their whole life. Scary thought. Number 6, focus your creativity and energy. Number 6, focus your creativity and energy. I got to say something. Next to this, write these 3 words down, please. You ready? Say yes. Say yes. Bring, write this down. Bring energy home. Bring energy home. Don't go home and say you're tapped. Don't go home and say I used up everything, I have nothing left. Don't go home. Don't go home and say, stick a fork in me, I'm done. You know why? Everybody say why? Because you can't get fired at home too. Say true. If you know that you must have energy when you go home, you'll find it because it's there to be found. The only reason why you don't have energy is because you choose to not have it. It's your way out. You know what's interesting? See down there where it says, number 8, increase your enthusiasm for life. Life is too short not to be happy. Life is too long not to do well. Number 9 is goals are the seeds of greatness. The seeds. All right, folks, what did I teach you based on bad seeds? What do we do if somebody gives you bad seed? Bad seed, bad seed. Trust me, it works. Why do so many people not take time to write down their goals? 2 reasons. Number 1 is what? Fear of failure. Get over it. Folks, anybody that's ever done anything in life failed a ton in life. And you know why? Everybody say why.
Why?
Because there's no way in the world that you're not going to fail. It's all based on what you judge it on. And you know, the greatest thing in life is to understand when a mic falls off, who cares? Just have fun with it. See, some people get all upset about some minor things. There you go. And you know what's interesting? I think one of the greatest things I love is fireplaces. Do you know why I love fireplaces? Because I can sit by a fire out by my house, outdoors, or I can sit in a fire in my house, or I can go to Colorado on a cold night and I can have a fire, and I just love fires. I think it's the most relaxing, other than the beach. It's relaxing. I can sit and read by it. I enjoy it tremendously. But you know what happens if you don't clean out that fireplace and it gets too many ashes in it? You can't have a very bright fire, can you? So you know what failure is? Ashes. You know what you do with ashes? You throw them away. But if you understand where to put the ashes, you know what ashes turns into? What's it turn into? Fertilizer. If you put ashes in the right place, the grass is greener. If the ashes are left in the wrong place, then the flame is dwindled. It is your choice to take those ashes of failure and dump them in the right place. Say true. Okay? Now here's the second one, which is the most difficult. The fear of success. The fear of success. And all I can tell you is one simple thing. If for some reason, every time you get close, you find a way to trip yourself, that is something you cannot get over by yourself. You have to get counsel. Say true. Turn the page. All right. Oh, here's my most favorite part of the program. I think I've said that before. Oh, mercy. We lost the mic again.
Bryan, what's number 7?
Huh?
Number 7.
All right, let's go back to number 7. Let me hook up this mic. It's going crazy. All right, number 7. What's number 7? Improve communications with important people in your life. This is a real interesting mic system. You know what? I'm getting a chance to develop my sense of humor. I got you, you little rascal. Give her more power, Scotty. She's breaking up. All right, the next one. Now we're going to talk about time management. And I love time management. I'm going to stick that right there. And I'll tell you know what? Here's my question. I love this part. You ready? Say yes.
Yes.
How many hours in a day does a very happy, successful, well-balanced human being have in a day? How many hours? This is not a trick question. You got to answer the same day I ask. 12? No! 24. How many hours does a very unhappy, very sad, pathetic human being have in a day? 24. Guess what? Everybody say what? We all have the same amount of time every day. You know what the difference is? What you choose to do with it. Who in this room wants to get the day to work for you instead of you work for it? Raise your hands. All right, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Most powerful skill in the world. Somebody the other day said, my gosh, I looked at your schedule. 411 appearances, and I was only in a hotel room 21 nights. You know why? Everybody say why.
Why?
Because I want to go home. Folks, I know where home is. Key is understanding it. Fill in the blanks. If your life and your income and your results, fill this in, your life, your income and your results are determined by the way you manage your time. Plan your time strategically to give you the highest return on energy. Energy. There's only one reason you run out of energy. It's because you're looking in the wrong place and it's taking it from you. I was at 7-Eleven. This big guy standing there and he goes, do those things work? And you know what he's pointing at? Those little energy pills on the counter. And the guy behind the counter goes, I don't know, but a lot of people are buying them. I tapped him on the shoulders and I said, you must be excited about life, looking forward to something new, pumped up. You know what he said? He turned right around and he goes, life sucks. You know what I said to him? I said, those pills ain't going to help you, big guy. Because you can't find energy in a pill. Say true. Energy is found because you're looking in the right place and it'll come up in abundance. See where it says here, now, or see where it says take the long view? Then it says now, space, 20 years. Write the word sacrifice. What are you going to sacrifice is going to make a difference. Everybody sacrifices to put on this event. Everybody sacrifices to be successful. Everybody sacrifices to have balance. Everybody sacrifices to have happiness. Turn off the TV and pick up a book. Turn off the radio and put in a tape. Do something that's so easy, but it's so powerfully different. True? And you know what's interesting? You know how many hours an average human being watches on TV a day? Anybody want to guess? 6 hours. I've heard as high as 6. But the calculations come down to one thing. I think of all the numbers, it looks at 4. That means in 1 month you spend over a week watching TV. What could you do if you just made a change in your life? What could you do with a whole other week out of your month of life? And you know why you're distracted? Because they want life to have you distracted. You know why? Because then you won't see the purpose. If you don't see the purpose, you won't find the meaning. See, we're down here where it says 2 types of pains. 2 types of pains we all live with. Pain number 1, husband. Don't write that down. Betsy! She was writing it down. No, not husband. Betsy. You know what? First pain is the pain of disciplines. The pain of disciplines. It is painful. Say true. Because if it wasn't, everybody'd do it. Duh! The second pain weighs tons. Weighs tons. You know what it is? It's the pain of regret. See, if you're not disciplined to do the things that matter, then you end up getting in trouble. Then you end up having to live with regret, and that's something you can't change, can you? It's over. Next to regret, write the word tons. Regret weighs tons. It's the hardest pain you'll live with in life. Next to disciplines, write ounces. Ounces. Is it easy to read? Yes. Is it easy not to? Yes. We're talking about the things that matter. Is it easy to turn the TV off? Yes. Is it easy to pick up a book? Yes. True? But it's easy not to, too. See, that's how simple it is. The fact comes down to one thing, understanding the power of discipline and understanding the difference between regret. See what it says here? Keep your life in balance. Oh, I know this part. Everybody goes, yeah. You don't look in balance to me. Well, you know what? This week I'm not in balance. Actually, I'm way out of balance. You know what the key is? Everybody say what? Knowing where balance is. That's all life is about. To be successful, folks, you can't always be in balance. Say true. Not possible. Now, here's the key. Where balance for me is my barn. I love my barn. That's not a big barn. Geez, not even about quarter size of this thing, even if that big. Probably less than that. I dug a big tank. In Texas, I call them tanks. In Colorado, we call them ponds. It's about as big as this room. I dug it with a cat. I rented a big cat, dug it. It's about as big as this whole room. It's 35 feet deep. Can I offer you great therapy? Rent a cat, dig a big hole. I'm telling you, I had dirt coming out of every part of my body. My wife came out and says, honey, when are you stopping? I said, I ain't stopping until she runs out of diesel. I mean, I kept digging. Mother Nature came and filled it up. I put catfish, I put brim, I put mosquito minnows. Now I'm dropping in goldfish, and then the bass are on its way. So I can sit there in my barn. I love the smell of horses. Somebody the other day goes, you love horse poop? I didn't say that. I love the smell of horses. Those of you who have horses understand what I'm talking about. I can sit there. I love the smell of horses. I can watch my labs out there playing in the tank. I can watch my kids fishing. I can see them on the four-wheelers. If I want to get real comfortable, I'll have a Coors Light. And if I want to get real yucky, I have a Merlot. I had a friend of mine, Jack, in Arizona. He sent me a nice bottle of Merlot and 2 glasses. And he said, take your wife to the barn on me. I thought that was funny. And you know what? Am I at the barn right now? No! Am I pushing pretty hard this week? Yes! By the end of the week, I'll be in, well, let's see here, 6 states and do 11 appearances. But you know what's interesting? Am I pushing a little hard this week? Yes. Am I really stretching it? Yes. Am I out of balance? Yes. Am I about ready to go too far? Yes. Am I going to make a mistake? I don't know. Am I getting close? I'm getting real close. I'm getting real close. And then I realized, that's too far. And all I know in life is change my focus. I'm going to teach you a memory. You never forget anything. You just don't know where it looks like. So I changed my focus. I'm going to the barn. I'm going to be there this weekend. And I got big plans. I don't care if it rains or not. I got big plans. Am I going to stay at the barn too long? No. You know why? Everybody say why? Because you can't pay your bills. I had the guy the other day, he was so funny, he goes, I don't have a bar. And the guy sitting next to him says, guy, you got 3 Harleys, duh. Folks, you all have barns. It could be a place in your life that's your place. True? That's it. You got a barn. Everybody's got a barn. See, it's just the key. And you know what's interesting? It's so powerful. See where it says here? Here's my time management in a nutshell. It's quantity time at home. Quantity time at home. Somebody got this backwards. There are times when we cannot get home. Say true. That's part of our business. Say true. They understand it. They appreciate it. It's part of the business. But there are times when you could have got home, but you made bad choices. Say true. That's the time that upsets him more than anything. You know why? Say why. Because that was your choice. That was your choice. And you know what's interesting? The second part says it's quality time. No, it's quality time at work. It's quantity time at home. It's quality time at work. Somebody got that backwards big time. Those of us that have kids, they don't care about any quality time, do they? When mom's home, home's home. Dad gets home, home's a mess. That's the fact there is. Say true. And you know what's interesting? I guarantee you. All I can ask you to do is realize one thing. There are times when you're going to be putting in long times. You're going to put in long hours. You're going to be doing a lot of things. Do you know what your family wants? Everybody say what? For this to be a good investment in your life. Let it not be a job. Let it be an opportunity for you to grow from it. Because if it's a job and you don't grow and you don't change, then everybody wasted their time. I have people that leave my company to go on vacation. You know what the number one law we have? Don't you dare come back and say you had a bad vacation. Because if we didn't miss you, we don't need you. We missed you. But we all stepped up and backed you up while you were gone for one reason, for you to go on vacation. You know what I see? Say what? I see more people sitting on the beach thinking about work. And when they get to work, they think about the beach. And they cross it in the air. Say true. And you know what's interesting? Now we're going to talk about the 4 key elements of time management. All you got to do is these 4 key factors, and you are done. Boy, we covered a lot with what? And we're almost out of time, so buckle up. Let's go. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Number 1 is put a BB or a BO. Put BB or BO. Number 2, put a P. Number 3, put an F. Number 4, put a check. That's it. BB, BO, PF, check. Check. F, P, BO, BB, PF, check. BO, F, check. BO. Ooh, I'm getting high with this marker. Hello! You ready? Before you go to bed, before you leave the office, write down what you're going to do the next day. Who does it? Raise your hands. Be honest. Who does it? Raise your hands. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, 7 people in this whole room. You want to change your life? Say yes. Say yes. Before you leave where you're going, plan what you're going to do the next day. You know why? So you can believe it. Your subconscious mind works on it. But the conscious mind can go be where it's supposed to be, and that's all. Is it easy to do? Yes. Is it easy not to? Yes. You want to change your life? Yes. Then do it. P stands for prioritize. F stands for focus. P stands for prioritize. If you do not prioritize, you will lose focus. And the last one is my motivational game. I love this. There's nothing more exciting than you walk in and you have 4 major projects on your plate. At the end of the day, being able to do what? Done, 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 done. You know what most people do? Here's what most people do. Most people don't even plan. But they start their day. Let's say they have 3 or 4 things that they're going to do. They get interrupted the minute they get started. What did I teach about interruptions? Handle it on what? It's time. So they go over and take care of it. Come along with me. And then they come over here. They take care of it. They come over here. They take care of it. They come over here. They take care of it. By the end of the day, they started 4 things and completed how many? None. And then they do what we call a fine line between dedication and stupidity. They add more on. Now you know why Thursday is the hardest day to get out of bed. You know why? Everybody say why? Because not until then are you willing to check it off and say, I got to restart. You want to change your life? Say yes. This is the most powerful time management skill that exists. Don't turn the page. All you have to do is this. today with some focus. And the only way you can do that is before you leave the club, you write down what you're going to do the next day. And then here's the key. When you start, you're going to get interrupted. Follow me. Follow with me. You're going to get interrupted. Take care of the interruption. Where's your focus? You get interrupted, 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 where's your focus? Now this is only at 7:30 in the morning. You get interrupted, where's your focus? You get interrupted, where's your focus? You get interrupted, where's your focus? Now we're at 7:45 in the morning. You get interrupted, where's your focus? You get interrupted, where's your focus? You get interrupted, where's your focus? You follow me? When do you change your focus? When you can... And somebody says, well, that's not possible, Mr. Dodge. I should have been here by noon. Whose mistake was that? That was your mistake. Duh! You know what? Did I say something? Say yes. You do not want less responsibility, and you do not want less problems. Unless you want to earn less, do less, and have less in your life. These areas is not what steals time. Then how come the people that belong to these clubs reach the point in their life that they can say, I am a member? They have huge responsibilities, and they have lots of problems. Why do they also have the money, and they also have the other things in their life that was important? Because they learned how to manage the in-between. The in-between is what cost you. Now we're going to play a game. Who in this room likes to play games? Raise your hands. All right, here's what we're going to do. You ready? This is, don't turn page. No turning painting. Here's what we're going to do. The rules are you have to go from 1 to 20 in order. That means you have to circle 1, you have to circle 2, you have to circle 3, you have to circle 4, you have to circle 5. You circle them in order. That's the rules. What's the rule? Circle in order. The time. Everything has time to it. We never, like I've told every one of my soccer teams, we've never lost a game. I've never lost a game in all the years I've been coaching. We've run out of time a lot of times, but you know what I'm saying? I told this kids we were down 10 to 1 in this other game. I said, we've not lost. We just ran out of time. We had them on the run. Folks, the bottom line is you got 30 seconds. That's it. Now, why is it when I say 30 seconds, everybody turns their paper? Don't turn your paper yet. The goal. You got to have a goal. You know why? Let me see why. How do you know you made it? Duh. The goal is you got to get to 20. What's the goal? What's the time? What's the rule? Circle in. Everybody understands? Okay. Everybody look up. Everybody look up. Who in this room has a watch with a second hand? Who's got a watch with a second hand? You got one? Oh, cool. Let me see. Let me have it. You want to see the ones I got yesterday? Come on, man. Man, that's a nice one. A Rolex. Now, all right, here's what we're going to do. Everybody look up. Ready? Say yes. I'm going to say turn the page. You're going to turn the page. I'm going to say look in the upper left-hand corner. You're going to look in the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to say circle number 1. Don't look down yet. Emily, would you smack that guy? All right. I'm going to say everybody look up. Once I see everybody's eyes, I'm going to synchronize the watch. And you got 30 seconds to get to what? 20. Turn the page. Look in the upper left-hand corner. Circle number 1 and look up. Everybody look up. Everybody look up. Circle number 1 only. In the upper left-hand corner. Did you circle number 1 yet? Okay. You ready? Say yes. Okay, ready? I didn't say go. Go! You got 30 seconds now. Go, 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 go. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You gotta go quick now. You gotta go quick now. Find 2, find 3, find 4, find 5. Come on, move, 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 move. You gotta go. You got food coming in. We got people coming in. We got shows. We got lights. We got tents. We got all things coming up. Oh, do you get that report in? You get that done. Oh my gosh, hurry up. Now you get that going. Now you got these people coming around here. Now you realize, oh my gosh, we got this has to be delivered, this has to be delivered, this has to be delivered. But did you get this done? I didn't get it done. I didn't get that. Oh, what's not been a problem? How all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I've only got 4 seconds left. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and everybody stop. Stand up. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Boy, I got shorter, didn't I? All right, everybody look up. If I say 5, and you got 5, stay standing. If I say 6, and you only got to 5, what do? Sit down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means you got to 10 or higher. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Nice job. 18, 19. Great job. 20. All right. Wait a minute. Who said cheater? Who said cheater? Come on. Who said cheater? Uh-oh. Okay, everybody ready? Get your hands out like this. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Betsy! 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 Hey, we're just teaching you your own candy. And you know what's interesting? Did you get 20? Congrats. You ever played this game before? By the way, you want to see something pretty powerful? Who in this room standing has played the game before? You see a pattern here. You know what's amazing? Who in this room has not played the game before and got the 20? That is mind-boggling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My goodness, can we give them a round of applause? That is fabulous. That is fabulous. And you know what? You can't, now listen to me everybody, listen. You cannot get the 20 without finding a pattern. Look at everybody go, pattern? What pattern? I see no pattern. What's that? You know what's interesting? Everybody look up. Life offers patterns, doesn't it? There are success patterns and there are failure patterns. They're easy to see, aren't they? And you know what's interesting? On your piece of paper, draw a line right down the middle of that piece of paper. And then draw a line across the middle of the piece of paper. Where's number 1? Upper left-hand corner. Where's number 2? Upper right-hand corner. Where's number 3? Lower left-hand corner. Where's number 4? Lower right-hand corner. Where's number 5? Upper left-hand corner. Where's number 6? Upper right-hand corner. Where's number 7? Lower left-hand corner. Where's number 8? Lower right corner. Where's number 9? Upper left corner. Where's number 10? Upper right corner. Where's number 11? Lower left corner. Where's number 12? Lower right corner. Turn your books. Close your books. Close your books. Close your books. Close your books. Now here's what we're going to do. I hope you'll understand what I'm about ready to say because it is priceless. You are going to have a tremendous amount of requirement on your life during those 7 days. Say true. You're going to have a lot of challenges during those 7 days. Say true. Do you know why some people are going to have no energy left the 8th day? You know why some are not going to even make it through the 3rd day? It's because you lost your focus. You lost your focus. The first time, pay attention, please. I'm going to go through this very carefully because this is priceless. If during that exercise my voice was driving you nuts, which was about 90% of you, there's only one reason why. Is because your focus was loose enough for me to distract you. If you have clear defined focus, then the things around you that are going to distract you, that are going to cause you to miss the opportunity and not see everything that's to be seen, is because it got you off track. You know what every great golfer that says during their worst game is what? They lost their focus. That's how powerful it is. What you're going to accept in the next 7 days when this thing starts and ends, 2 things are going to happen. Number 1 is you're going to find you have a whole nother level in life that you can compete in life. Because you got so much done and you had so much more to offer. You're now at a different level, aren't you? You are hard to ever go back. That's why the 8th day will be your best day. Because once you've been there, it's hard to go back. Unless you weren't there. Then the 8th day is a hard day. That's how you know. You know what's interesting? Now we're going to do the contest one more time to show you how powerful it is. Do not turn the book. Do not turn the book. Now here's what we're going to do. You ready? Say yes. Yes. The rules stay the same. We don't need to change the rules. Duh. The time stays the same. You don't need any more time. You know what the difference is? You're now educated. You know what to do, and you know where to look. So guess what's changed now? The goal. You know what the record is? not possible. There was a thought that went, oh my gosh. And then there are some of you that say, if somebody can do 57, now I know where to look. I wonder how close I'll get. Based on your thought will determine how far you go. And you know what that thought is? That's a pattern of your life. Remember, patterns do produce results, positive or negative, don't they? Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to offer an incentive. And here's the incentive. Who in this room listens to tapes and reads? Raise your hands. Congratulations. You never regretted it, have you? I'm going to do this. I brought what I refer to as my complete educational library. I refer to as the mother load. This baby is a mother load. This program right here, How to Build a Better You, all 45 undeniable truths in life. Time management, leadership, communication at its best. Fox now is releasing a program in June, so I hate to break the news to you, but I believe what's going on TV. 1 hour is this program. It's not a commercial. It's 1 hour about a message. That's $100 in CDs. Then, this one right here, How to Build a Complete Salesperson. Learn how to communicate with people, don't push them. Greatest thing in life is a person that has the ability to communicate with people. Say true. That's $100. Maximizing your financial dignity. Take every dime you have, every penny you have, and spend it in the right place, you'll end up in the right place. True? That's $100. My #1 top-selling book. Why? It's the only book I got. Becoming the Obvious Choice. 63,000 of these went out last year. It's about a company having a meeting, and everybody thinks you're getting fired. Instead, the company's expanding into every major market. The question is, are you the obvious choice? The economy is not going to fail. You know why? Everybody say why?
Why?
Because we're spoiled brats. Nobody's giving up their toys. Look at this place. Say true. So don't worry about the economy, folks. Right now is your chance to position yourself. I could know you for 10 years and put you in a crisis and get to know you in 10 minutes. True? See? And you know what? And then the most powerful program, which is the memory program, which I don't know why that's not in that package, but it's got to be in this package. And you know what's interesting? This one right here, we're going to teach you about memory in a moment. But this one right here, those of you who want to improve your memory, by the time you're done with this, you'll be able to do 150 items, forwards, backwards, by number by, first name, last name, kids' names, birthdays, foreign language, and mathematical recall. That's $500 worth of education. The person that gets the farthest on this next exercise, that's all yours. Who wants to win it? All right, let's go to work. All right, here's what we're going to do. All right, turn the page to the page you have not written on. That you have not written on. Okay? That means turn the page to the next blank page. Don't go to the page you already did the contest once on. Say true. Okay, I want to clarify that. All right, circle number 1, everybody look up. Everybody circle number 1, look up. You got to get exactly synchronized timing here. So you got 30 seconds. The one that gets the farthest, do not stop at 20. Go as far as you can, wins that whole package. Go! You got 30 seconds now. Go as quick as you can, move fast, move along. Also, you realize the food doesn't go, the place doesn't go, they go this stuff. Oh, so-and-so's supposed to be here. So-and-so's supposed to be there. How am I supposed to have 10 people here and only got 4 people here? Sound clear? Also, you start doing this, you start looking. You know what the funny thing about it is? The first time I did this when I was talking to you, I kept driving you nuts. You kept going, you shut up, you shut up, you shut up, you shut up, you shut up. And all of a sudden now, I'm not bothering you. You know why I'm not bothering you? It's because you know where to look. You know where to go. And it's close enough where you don't lose your control. You don't lose your thought process. And all of a sudden you realize something. Time seems to be longer. No, it's the same amount of time. The only difference is you are in control of your thoughts. You're looking from left to right, up and down. And all of a sudden you start realizing, my gosh, this seems longer. Nope. You got exactly 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Everybody stop. Okay, everybody stand up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We're almost done. All right, here's what we're going to do. If I say 5 and you got 5, stay standing. If I say 6 and you got 5, what do you do? Sit down. Ready? Say yes. Oh, and ready? Say yes. 5, 10, 15, 20. Look around the room. Do you know what I call that? Major progress, reasonable time. Now you know why some people get everything done and others don't. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Hey! Who said cheaters again? Hey, see! 42. Ooh, 43. Okay, now if I'm right, we've got one person, and you're still up, correct? And you're still up. So we got 3 people. Anybody else? No? 40. Did I tell you if there's a break? Nobody, I mean, if there's a tie, nobody gets anything? Did I forget that part? Oh, sucks on me. 44. Ooh. 45. Ooh. 46. 47.
Oh my God.
What'd you get?
52?
How much?
52?
She got 52. Wait. What'd you get the first time?
20.
She got 20 the first time, got 52 the second time. Can we give her a huge round of applause for that? That was awesome. And you guys are so cool. Did you like this? That's all yours. And I hope you'll enjoy it. Folks, now I hope you realize one thing. What we just talked about is the most powerful thing in the whole wide world. And by the way, now we're going to auction off the watch. Do I hear 5, 10, 15, 20? Thanks, buddy. Here we go to both ends. All right, now we're going to talk about memory. Turn your page, turn your book over to the back side. To the blank. Just turn it over to the blank side. We're going to talk about memory in the seconds we have left. Who in this room absolutely wants to improve your memory? Raise your hands. You know what the good news is? Thank God you can. That's the truth. Let me test your memories. How long have I been in this business?
16 years.
16 and a half years. I've been working on memory for 5 years. You know why? I got sick and tired of hiding it. I went to school to be a vet. I flunked out of vet school. I built a company called Results with 174 full-time employees who less than 10% of the names. And can I break the news to you? Say yes.
Yes.
If you do not remember a person's name and they work with you and for you or important to you, you've only told them one thing. They don't matter, you don't care. If you haven't read this book, God help you. Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. In that book it says what? The thing we all love to talk about is who? Ourselves. I went to Papa Seals one night, beautiful dinner down in Texas. It was the night that changed my life. No, it wasn't the margaritas. I had a beautiful dinner with my wife, my 3 kids, got home, the phone rings. The guy says to me, I will never forgive you for what you did. I don't know about you, but I don't call that a motivational talk. I said, excuse me. He said, my 2 sons, my 2 daughters, and my wife, and a whole bunch of our friends sat and waited for you for an hour. I said, I didn't see you. He said, you liar. He said, you walked by our table twice. You didn't recognize us. I cried that night and said, I've had enough. What is it about us? We will not change until we get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Say true.
True.
You know what I say? Say what?
What?
When you get there, look in the mirror and get happy. Because some good things are about ready to happen to you as long as you don't break the law. You know what the law is? Say what? Say what? Never, never, never take advice from somebody more messed up than you are. Say true! Because you know what failure hates worse than failure? Loneliness. You understand the power of that? Failure doesn't mind failure, doesn't mind success. The biggest fear failure has in its life is being by itself. There are going to be people that are not going to make this journey, and then they're going to be real happy if they leave this club and you go with them. You understand the power of that? True? So don't you make failure comfortable. We don't do that, do we? We bring failure up. But we got to let them do it themselves. So I went to Roger Staubach. I said, Roger, I have a tremendous amount of respect for you on your memory thing. Because his philosophy is, my name will get you in the door. Yours, Billy, remember the company's name, so it'll keep us there. I said, is memory a gift? Did you always have it, or was it something that you learned? And I'll never forget, he looks right at me and says, no, it's a learned trait. I always thought that people that had memory, it was a gift. You just kind of had it, or you didn't have it. I said, do you mean that I can learn it? He said, yes. I said, then I want to. He says, good, go get tested. I said, does everybody have to get tested? He goes, no. I said, how come I have to? He said, trust me. I'm glad I did. Anybody in this room happen to know what ADD is? Attention Deficit Disorder. Do you know what ADHD is? Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. Anybody happen to know which one I am? I mean, duh. If I heard it once, I heard it a million times. Would you sit still? Would you stop kicking him? I hated this one too. Look at me. I'll poke you in the eye. I went and took this test. I said, I'm here to take this test. She goes, did I do? She goes, you did very good. I said, what's very good mean? She goes, you know that scale? I go, yeah. She goes, you changed it. True. I'm the highest rated ADHD individual in the state of Texas. I now worked for 11 universities last year. I'm now on my calendar for 21 universities this year. You know why? Everybody say why? I don't believe in drugs. I believe in disciplines. I think I've gotten my point across. It's up to you to choose. If you choose, you win. If you don't, you lose. It's your choice. And you know what's interesting? I'm sick and tired of parents coming to me, my soccer teams, and they do this. Well, do you know my son's on your team? Duh. Yes, I do know. I have a 2-year waiting list. They always say the same thing. Well, do you know? And as soon as they say, do I know? I know. I look at them and go, well, do I know what? And they always go, you know, my son has ADD. They always whisper. You know what my favorite response is? Everybody say what? I look them right in the eyes and I say, too cool! I'm ADHD! I'm responding to a big body! Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up! Scares the living heck out of me. I had one mom jump back, she goes, my God, how much Ritalin do you take before you coach? I go, none get still, none get still, none get still, none get still. Anybody in this room seen my favorite movie called Sandlot? Anybody seen that movie? Love that movie. You know what I love about that movie? It's about a bunch of kids playing baseball, appreciating each other for who they are. I was not invited to come in here and change you a bit. If I would have, I wouldn't have shown up. I was invited to come and remind you to get ready for the event. Why? Because you're part of it. There are hundreds and thousands of millions of people that would love to be sitting in your seats right now. And you know what? Take advantage of it. And you don't need anything other than what you have. You've got everything you need if you focus on what you have. True? So I said, fine. How do you do the memory thing? He said, we study under the FIG system. Write this down. File, image, glue. File, image, glue. You create a file, you create an image, and you glue it. What's the greatest computer in the world? Your brain. When they developed the computer, what was the model after? Your brain. When they developed it, what was the 2 biggest problems they had? Memory and recall. Didn't they? You ever had that happen? Where you see somebody, right? And you go, oh, I know him. Then what do you say? Oh, hope he doesn't come this way. What happens the minute you say, I hope he doesn't come this way? They come this way. You must put a sign over your head. Please come to Bears Camp, don't look at me. Right? And I walk up and say, Catherine, it's good to see you, brother. And I walk away. I know, she didn't remember my name. I don't know that. It's not because she didn't use my name. It's the look. You got that, I don't know your name look. And folks, there's going to be some wonderful people here. Say true. Remember their names. Because then they'll remember you. That's how it goes. Right, Emily? And you know what's interesting? Now what happens with the CFK? Okay, I walk away. What's Kathy saying? She goes, what is that weird guy's name? Hour later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later, 2:30 in the morning. What pops up in her head? My name. By show of hands, who's ever had that happen? Oh, so memory's not your problem. Recall is. Ha! You've never had that happen? Have you ever had that happen where you walk up to somebody, right? And you go, hey, Ed, good to see you, man. Long time no see. I just don't recognize your face. That never happened unless you had a tough night, huh, dude? No, you always remember the face. You don't know where to look to find the information. And you know what's interesting? What you got to understand is what's the greatest computer in the world? Your brain. Say true.
True.
When they developed the computer, what was 2 biggest problems they had? Memory and recall. Something there? You know how they solved the memory? You used to take a computer as big as this room to do what a Pentium does today. You know what the 2 limiting factors, the size of the computer is today? A little trivia for all of you as we wrap up. The size of the human finger and heat. Both have been resolved. The heat, we don't need fans. The information tells itself to cool itself. The size of human finger, I just came back from San Diego, California at the Coronado Hotel. 3,500 engineers. I was the opening ceremony speaker for the Smart Chip. Could you imagine me in front of 3,500 engineers, by the way? And you know what's interesting? One guy comes up and he says, tell me you're not the speaker. I said, what are you trying to do? Pump me up? He goes, no, I know who you are. None of us are this excited this early in the morning. Boy, was he right. One guy walks up after he's had tears coming from his eyes and goes, I never lived so hard in my life. I said, that's sad. And you know what's interesting? Who's read about the Smart Chip? Oh boy, do you have some cool stuff coming. The insurance industry has come to the conclusion they can't afford for you to be driving these vehicles anymore. That decision's been made. Why? Can't afford it. They're going under. look down, bang. You look over, bang. You pick up a cell phone, bang. You get distracted, bang, right? Guess what? This is called the smart chip. It'll be in the market between 8 to 10 years in a prototype stage. You're going to be able to get in your car, think about driving home, the car is going to take you home. It's not activated. Can I break the news to all of you when we get to this point? Say yes. Yes. You better be very careful what you think about on the way home. Could you imagine that? You're driving along, by driving in that big guy, bam! True or false? Is technology exploding? Say true. Are you doing well? Say yes.
Yes.
Oh, that sucked. Are you doing well? Say yes. I had this guy come up to me the other day and goes, Mr. Dodge, I'm not doing very well. I'm not making much money, and I don't like where I am, and I'm not happy. Should I change? You know what I said to him? Everybody say what? I said, no way! Don't change when you suck. You know why? Everybody say why? Because you're only going to go to a place you suck. I looked at him, I said, you go back and you make that environment the best environment in the world. You go back, you turn everything around. You go back when then people are saying, I don't know what happened, but everything changed. And when you're on top and you're doing well, then you change. You know why? Because when you change up here, you'll go over there. When you change, when you suck, you're going to go there. You can't go here until you change. Say true. And you know what's interesting? On a piece of paper, write 1 through 15. Let's go. We're going to be done. Write 1 through 15. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to give me 15 different items. I don't care what they are. Pen, chair, moon, star, tree. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to memorize it, aren't I? And then I'm going to see who in this room can repeat all 15 of these, forwards, backwards, by number, by item, in every possible direction. You ready? Let's go quick. Keep it easy, simple. Give me something. Pen, chair, moon, star, tree, something. What'd you write down?
Chair.
Chair. Everybody write down chairs, number 1. Number 2, anybody? What? Phone. Number 2 is phone. Number 3? Golf. Number 4? Cat. Number 5?
Dog.
Dog. Number 6? Flag. Flag. Number 7? What? Melon. Okay, number 7's melon. Number 8? Huh? Heart. Number 8's heart. Number 9's car. Number 9 is car. Number 8 is heart.
Grasshopper.
Number 10 is grasshopper. Oh, grasshopper. Grasshopper. Number 11. Shoe. Number 12. Horse. Number 13. Fire. Did you say fire? What? Barn. Number 13's barn. Number 14's fire. And number 15 better be what I've been talking about this whole time, or you're going to do 16. What is it? Nope. 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 Boy, I suck at this, don't I? Books. Am I right about the books? Say yes. I didn't invent it, neither did you. Now here's what I want you to do. Everybody look up. You got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds, but you got to be able to memorize these forwards, backwards, by number, by item, in every possible direction. You understand that? Say yes. If I say cat, you say what? 4. If I say dog, you say what? 5. If I say shoe, you say what? Okay? If I say melon, you say 7. It doesn't make a difference how you do this. You go in any direction, any manner, any way. You got 30 seconds to memorize them. Try your best. Memorize all 15 of them, forwards, backwards, by number, by item. You're doing good. I enjoy watching you. That's good. That's good. Okay, turn them over. First of all, I would like to say this as I wrap up right now. You know what I saw? I saw a lot of people trying. You know what I see in this room? Everybody say what? I see a lot of success in this room. I see a ton of it. And for me to be asked to be here today, I don't think there's any greater gift in life. So thank you. And you know what I do know? When I ask some of you to turn it over, you make your book. Some of you did this. I said, go ahead and turn it over. People go, okay, I'll turn it over. Show me somebody who's willing to try. I'll show you somebody that'll give you all my energy. Show me a quitter. I've got no time. You know why? Say why. Say why. Can't change quitters. Can't change themselves. And you know what's interesting? There are 3 types of people in this room, I guarantee you. The first is when I ask you to do this, your mind literally got legs. Your thoughts went from remember these items? If he calls on me in front of my peers, I'll shoot him. How do I know? I lived it all my life. If any of you are fortunate enough to have a class clown as a child, you might want to ask them why they're class clown. I'll give you their answer. It's called a defense mechanism. Robin Williams would not be where he is today if it wasn't for one great teacher that noticed one thing. He didn't know how to read a word, and he was 11. She taught him how to read out of a garage. The second person in this room, there's only one thought going through your mind. You know what it is? He better shut up fast. These items are dropping quick. Because you're going, I ain't moving. And the third person in this room, don't ever memorize something in a word. You want to see how powerful this is? Say yes. Say yes. I'll give you the numbers, you give me the items as a group. Ready? Say yes. Item number 1 is what? Chair. Item number 2 is what? Ball. Item number 3 is what? Ball. Item number 5 is what?
Cat or dog. Dog.
You saw what happened, though, didn't you? What did I do? I went 1, 2, 3, stopped, hesitated, yelled 5, and held 5 fingers up. What's 4?
Dog. Cat.
What's 5? They're not coming with the cat. You know why? Everybody say why? Because the good Lord gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You got to listen twice as much as you talk. It's when that brain gets ahead of your ears and your eyes, I hate to break the news to you, you're going to make some problems and mistakes. The brain doesn't care. I hope you listen to me like you've never listened to anything in your life, because this is so powerful. That brain will let in a negative thought faster than it will put a positive thought. That brain will take a bad seed faster than it will take a good seed. You know that. I don't have time to explain it. The brain doesn't care. It's a file cabinet. Anything I want can be put in there if you allow it to go in. You know what guards that brain? Say what? The eyes and the ears. It's when this thing gets ahead of these 2, it can't guard you. It immediately goes in and you can't protect yourself. And you know what? Here's what happened. I went 1, 2, 3, stopped, hesitated, didn't I? And I yelled 5 and held 5 fingers. The eyes and the ears had a conversation with the brain. It went like this. It went 5, it went 5, it went 5, right? And the brain says, I don't care, I've already decided where it's going. Understand the power. You're going to be going 90 miles an hour, folks. Make sure what you've heard and what you see matches what you think. Because if they don't, you're going to find yourself in trouble. Now I got a question to ask. It's different between cassettes and CDs. Cassettes, when you want to go from one song to another, what do we do? CDs, what do we do? Pick it on 1 through 15. Pick it on. If she says 12, we say what? Horse. Very good. Pick it on 1 through 15. 10. She says 10, we say grasshopper. Pick it on 1 through 15. 8. He says 8, we say what? Heart. And you know what's interesting? Now here's the greatest test of all. You ready? Say yes. And we're done. Who in this room knows 4 or 5 of these items? Nice job. Yours is the first hand went up. Stand up.
Oh, no.
Stand up. Everybody give a round of applause. Stand up. Come on. Come on up front. Come here. Now here's the key. Here's what we're going to do. I coach soccer, as I've told you. And I promise every parent that ever brings their child my way, the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sell your son or daughter on kicking that soccer ball. You know how I do it? When there's a penalty kick, I just yell out who wants to kick it. The first hand that goes up, you kick it. Don't care if you make it or not. I just finished a tournament this Saturday, And one of the coaches came over and the official says, you know, I've never seen that in my life. I said, what's that? He said, you literally yelled out, who wants to kick it? All the kids on the field, all the kids on the sidelines, and some of my parents raised their hands. Do you know why people stop raising their hands and wanting to kick in life? Everybody say why? Why? Everybody say why? Because you are too worried about what other people are going to think about you. And can I break the news to you? Say yes. People don't think about you. Say true. Because you raised your hand. You listen to tapes?
Yeah.
Good answer. This whole program is yours.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Can we give a round of applause? And you know what's interesting? I don't care if she gets one right. Don't care if she gets all right. You know what I care about is her hand was the first one that went up. You can't win in life unless you want to get on the field of life. You can't win in life unless you want to play in life. You can't change unless you're willing to step up and what? Grow. Now you want to see something powerful? Say yes. Okay? Here's what we're going to do. Did you write it all down? Okay, turn this over so you can look at it real quick. Now here's what we're going to do. Give me any one of the 15 items. Just give me one. Grasshopper. She says grasshopper, we say 10. Check it off. Give me another one quickly. Melon, 7. Check it off. Car. She says car, we say 9. Check it off. Chair, 1. Check it off. Huh? Cat, 4. Check it off. 5. Check it off. Heart, 8. Check it off.
I'm done.
No, you know what? You're not done. Here's the greatest lesson. You ready, folks? Say yes.
Yes.
When you stop looking, you stop finding. Do you know why you stop looking? It's easier. Do you know what looking does? It works the muscle. Wax on, wax off. Oh, Danielson. The problem in life, we stop looking. And when you stop looking, you stop finding. Help her out, team. Huh? Shoe. He says shoe, we say 11. Give me another one. Horse, which is 12. What? Phone, which is 2. What? Fire, which is what? 14. Book, which is 15. Golf, which was 3. Now you want to know something pretty cool? Say yes.
Yes.
Who in this room's ever gone to the grocery store and picked up everything but what they went to get? Can I break the news to you? That doesn't just stay in the grocery store. That's part of your life. The grocery store is just telling you that's where it is. And you know what? Not only do I, you know what's interesting? Have we covered all of them? Did we cover all of them? I asked you to check them off. Did we cover all of them? No. There's one left. Anybody have any idea which one it is? Huh? Car covered it. Melanie covered it. Huh? There's only one, which is 6, which is flag. Flag was the only one that we left. Not only did I know what was said, but I also know what wasn't said. I can do 280 items and have a 98% retention now. If you'd have told me I could have done this years ago, I'd have told you you've been drinking way too much 16. And look at some of you, you look down. I mean, give me a break. We didn't have 16. And you know what's interesting? I'll tell you, they just finished the program for Fox, which is coming out in June, which I told you. They've been wanting me on TV for 4 years. You know why I would not go on TV? Everybody say why. Because they stick that thing in your ear. Does anybody have any idea what that thing in your ear is doing? It's talking to you. Can I break the news to you? When you're ADHD like I am, I already got 2 conversations. I don't need a third one. Used to say the first time I tried, the guy behind the camera said, dude took a trip and never left stage. Folks, it took me 4 years of learning a skill to be able to stay on task, to be able to deliver what mattered. Now, who in this room would like to have done what I just did with those 15 items? Raise your hands. Now we're going to have one more test, and we can do it because we started so late. They gave me 6 minutes, so I got 3 minutes left. Has this time blown by? Say yes. It's gone by. Now here's what we're going to do. And you got to have fun with this. We're going to teach you something very quickly. We got to do it fast. You ready? Say yes. We're going to do what we call body files. It'll show you if you know where to look, you know where to find. File number 1 is foot. Say foot. No, do not write them down. Put your pens down, put your paper down, put everything down. This is called imagination. You know why you write down? It's because you can't remember it. File number 1 is foot. Say foot. File number 2 is calf. Say calf. File number 3 is knee. Say knee. File number 4 is thigh. Say thigh. File number 3 is knee. File number 2 is. File number 1 is. File number 2 is. File number 3 is. File number 4 is. File number 5 is. Who said big butt? Did you say big butt? I saw that. File number 5 is rear. File number 7. File number 6. File number 5. File number 4. File number 3. File number 2. File number 1. File number 8 is caller, say caller. File number 9 is face to face. File number 10 is top of the head, top of the head. File number 10. File number 9. File number 8. 7. 6. 5. 1. 2. 3. 4. 10. 9. 11's eyes, say eyes. File number 12's nose, say nose. File number 12's nose, say nose. File number 13's mouth, say mouth. File number 14's ears, say ears. File number 15's belly button, say belly button. What is about belly button? Everybody laughs. File number 15 is? File number 14 is? 13. 11. 12. 9. 9. 10. Okay, 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. Who in this room knows all 15 of the files? Only been amazing. You're starting to learn quick on these hands, are you not? Stand up. Stand up. Come on up. What's your name? Carrie, come on. Give me your hand. You listen to tapes? Yes or no? No. Do you listen to tapes before this? Okay. Are you willing to invest 20 minutes a day to do something major or successful in your life? Do you have a CD player? Good. Then after the program, you come up to me and I'll give you the whole package. You with me? Now you ready? File number 1 is what? 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. You see what happened? She started to lose, but she had a choice. She can either choose to look for a way out, or she can choose to look for the answer. That is your choice, is it not? File number 9 is 10, 11, 12. No teamwork there. 13, 14, 15, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give it a round of applause! She is in 30 different files and 15 of them forwards and backwards, and literally 3.5 minutes. Now somebody goes, what does that have to do with memory? Folks, you know what that has to do with memory? If you know where to look, you know where to find. I'm teaching you something real powerful. You ready? Say yes. It's called the fix system. You gotta have a file, you have to have an image, and you gotta glue it. The file we have, which is the body files. We're doing this the easiest because of the time frame. The brain has files, endless possibilities, you know where to find. Image is what? What was the first image you gave me? Come on, chair. Now you're gonna have something to do with glue. Who in this room's ever broken a bone before? Who's broken a bone before? What'd you break? Your arm, what'd you break it? When? Second grade? Where were you? Baseball? Really? Your basement? Where were you living? Who was there with you? Really? What happened? Your sister banged on you? You fell? Really? You know what? That was how long ago? You can tell me the color if I wanted to of everything in the room. You can tell me everything there was in that room. Do you know why? Say why. Because that was a huge impact in your life. So everything around it became embedded in your memory for the rest of your life. So I can see the rest of you going, oh my gosh, to be able to remember things, I gotta hurt myself. No! No! That's called memory. That's called choice. You use imagination, it gives you that name recall. Now you want to see something? File number 1 is what? Foot. Item number 1 is what? Chair. How do you get a chair on your foot? Stand on it. Here's the key. Who said stand on it? So when he looks at you, that information becomes available. You can either do it or you can choose not to. I'm done. My question to all of you is this. Who in this room picked up an idea that you truly felt was valuable to your time today? Raise your hands. Okay? Who in this room is going to make this year one of the best years you've ever had in your life? Raise your hands. And you know what's interesting? That is your choice, is it not? And I'm going to say something and I'm done. You ready? Say yes. If you ever think that you have gotten to a point in your life that you have too many problems, then look in the mirror and accept the fact that you've now earned the right to go to the field of problems. Everybody can go, but nobody can enter. But you can go to the field and you can dump all the problems you have into the field. But the rule is, for every one you dump in, you have to take one out. You know what we find? Everybody looks over, sees everybody else's problems, and goes home with a lot, and picks up their own, and goes home a lot happier. Folks, right now is opportunity. Some of you are going to leave this room, and you know what you're going to say? This day didn't do anything for you. Do you know why? Say why. Because you chose for this day to do nothing for you. I didn't invent one thing. The only thing I took credit for is I put my energy and my time and my heart and my thoughts and my hopes that because of one very special friend of mine, I call him Tiny, you call him the chef, asked me to come here today for you. And Russ said yes. And people made the right decision for the right people. And I do pray from the deepest part of my heart that what we've done here today is a good seed. And if you will water it, it will grow. Now, who in this room would like to have gotten that whole package given to you? Oh, look at how quick you're getting on that side. Do you see that? I'll take 10 of them, please. And you know what? Stand up. Because you went up that high, come up here and get one. I just love that attitude. I just love it. You know, I just think that is so awesome. That is all yours. You see her? She almost flew right out of the chair. Just take the two. And you know what we're going to do? For the rest of you, if you want to do something like that, that's fine. It is $500. That's all there is to it. And we're going to take off a whole bunch of it for one reason. It's called the truth of diminishing intent. And what we're going to do is this. For those of you in management, what I recommend, since we put together a whole package for $299, you get all 4 tapes and a book, and you get my promise. And here's the promise. If you don't like anything that's in that album, you come up to me, and you send it back, and I give you all your money back. No questions asked. But here's the key. You also come up to me after the program, you fill this out, you check all of them, you do $299. I give you a receipt. You give this to Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam lets you write it all off, doesn't he? And you know what's interesting? And I guarantee it, if you don't like it, send it back, I give you all your money, and if anything breaks, you send it back and I replace it. Do you know why I do that? Everybody say why. Why? Say why. Why? Because those of you who do it today will do it. Those of you who won't. It's called the truth of diminishing intent. And I hope more than anything else that I have shot procrastination where it steals more greatness in a human being's life is the inability to make a change, to do the right thing, and everything to guarantee and nothing you risk. And I do hope when you leave here today that you'll thank him for bringing me in for you. Because I know some of you might say, I've already found this weird guy, don't ever bring it back. But I hope you understand one thing. Life is too short not to be happy. Say true. Say true. Life is too long not to do well. Today was designed to remind you to do both. Thank you very much. Bye.